Oil spill by BP has left our balls all over the sea. So don't go swimming down in the south unless you want tar balls in your mouth. Balls in your mouth, balls in your mouth. Don't swim in the ocean, you'll get balls in your mouth. Balls in your mouth, balls in your mouth. Don't swim in the ocean, you'll get balls in your mouth. Balls in your mouth, balls in your mouth. Don't swim in the ocean, you'll get balls in your mouth. Balls in your mouth, balls in your mouth. Swim in the ocean, you'll have balls in your mouth. Go ahead! Balls in your mouth, balls in your mouth. Swim in the ocean, you'll get balls in your mouth. Balls in your mouth, balls in your mouth. Go swim in the ocean, you'll get balls in your mouth. Balls in your mouth, balls in your mouth. Go swim in the ocean, you'll get balls in your mouth. Balls in your mouth, balls in your mouth. Go swim in the ocean, you'll get balls in your mouth. Balls in your mouth, balls in your mouth. Go swim in the ocean, you'll get balls in your mouth. Balls in your mouth, balls in your mouth. Go swim in the ocean, you'll get balls in your mouth.
What's up, Boochcast fans, listeners across the internet, radio waves? This is Vinny Bucci, aka the Booch, and this is that time again, once again, yet again for the Boochcast. What's up, everybody? It is Thursday, September the 15th, 2016. It is high noon on Throwback Thursday. That's right. It's that special day of the week where you pop in the old home movies, dig through the old photo albums, and take a special look back at yesteryear. And normally this would be the day where we would get into some Netflix talk, but due to some circumstances, that is not the case. Actually, tomorrow will be Netflix talk, where Desmond and I, assuming Desmond will be calling in. If he doesn't call in, then obviously this segment won't happen. Desmond and I are going to be discussing Happy Tree Friends, which is the Netflix show that I recently finished watching last week when Desmond unexpectedly showed up at my house on Friday, and we couldn't watch season 4 of Arrow because he hadn't seen season 4 of Arrow, and I didn't want to go all the way back to the beginning with this show. So, with this seasons. So, we watched Happy Tree Friends, finished it up, and tomorrow he'll be on the Boochcast, and we will talk about Happy Tree Friends. So, be on the lookout for that coming up on tomorrow's show. Also, as you guys know, the show I'm currently watching is Arrow. I'm happy to announce I am currently on the last 2 episodes of Arrow. I got 2 episodes left, and then I am done with Arrow for now. It's October 5th when the 5th season starts. So I'm 2 episodes away from wrapping up season 4. And, of course, this coming Monday on the Boochcast, Zach will be back in the studio with me, and we will be doing a recap of season 2 of Arrow. So we'll be talking about season 2 of Arrow. We'll be getting into some wrestling talk. Broken Gator Ricky Ross will, of course, be joining us. Will, of course, be on, making his appearance on the show as well. And I'm really, really, really hoping and praying that there's going to be no bullshit on Monday. Hopefully, Zach got his fucking shit together and will actually be ready to do this show, because I swear to God, if he drops the ball on me again, I'm going to kill this motherfucker. You might see it. So tune in Monday on the Boochcast. Make sure you get on the YouTube, because you might just see a beatdown take place on the Boochcast. Because if Zach fucks up again, and didn't learn from any of the mistakes he made this past Monday, he's going to catch a beat down. I am going to beat the piss out of him on the Boochcast if he fucks up again. Because Monday's show, as I mentioned before, was goddamn ridiculous, which is why I took the day off on Tuesday and why I went on probably the most angriest rant, the most venomous rage I have ever felt on this show in quite some time yesterday. And of course, I wanted to recap Monday Night Raw, but we didn't get a chance to. The interview I did with Lance Goodman was about an hour and a half, which is fine. I love talking to Lance, so I'm in no way mad at Lance Goodman. In fact, I thank Lance Goodman for being on this show. He's always a joy. I could have spent the whole 3 hours talking to Lance, and I'd have been fine with that. But as they say in entertainment, always leave them wanting more. So don't worry. Lance will be on this show again eventually, and we're going to have a great conversation when he does. So then, of course, I went on my epic rant. Then I had an unexpected caller, and it was a number I didn't recognize. So I took the call. We chatted a little. We did a little wrestling talk, and overall, the show was great. So here's on the agenda for today's show. Today, we're recapping Monday Night Raw. In fact, we're about to jump in to Monday Night Raw in just a minute. So, anyone, and I know I say this all the time, but this time I mean it. If there's a lot of callers, you're going to be waiting for quite some time unless you're a call that I don't recognize. But I'm saying for the people who are frequent callers to the Boochcast, if I recognize your number, I'm going to have you waiting for a long time because I have a lot. Or otherwise, I would try to recommend not doing that today because I have a lot of shit to cover. A lot of shit to cover, folks. So I'm probably not going to be taking any calls today because if I do take calls today, we're not going to get a chance to talk any wrestling that's taking place this week. So we're just going to jump right in. We're going to do Monday Night Raw right now. Then we're going to go into Smackdown Live. If there's time, we'll do the Cruiserweight Classic or NXT. Because I've managed to watch all those shows last night. In fact, the only wrestling show I haven't watched this week is Lucha Underground and NXT because NXT and TNA. Lucha Underground and TNA are the only shows I haven't watched because TNA takes place tonight, and I just didn't have time to watch Lucha. So I'll probably watch Lucha Underground later today after I finish watching the last 2 episodes of Arrow. So right now, we're just going to jump right into Monday Night Raw, which took place in Baltimore, live from Baltimore, Maryland. And the show kicks off with Mick Foley standing in the ring, welcoming the crowd, and he decides to have a conversation regarding the women's division in the WWE and on Monday Night Raw. So here's what Mick Foley has to say about the current state of his and Stephanie's women's division.
Hello and welcome to Monday Night Raw. You know, summer may be over, but things are just heating up on Monday nights because with the first ever Raw exclusive pay-per-view coming up less than 2 weeks away, Clash of Champions, we're going to find out tonight whether Kevin Owens will defend his Universal Championship against Seth Rollins or against Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns. Now, I'm going to take a moment to give credit where credit's due. Our competition, Smackdown Live, at an event last night, a tremendous event, in which they crowned the first ever Smackdown Live Women's Champion. So a huge congratulations to my good friend Becky Lynch. But I believe that here on Monday Night Raw, we still offer the premier destination for the best in women's wrestling in the world today. So with that in mind, let's say hello to our Raw Women's Champion, Charlotte. Indeed, the two-time Raw Women's Champion, Charlotte, accompanied by her protege, Dana Brooke. We've seen a bit of a tumultuous relationship between Dana Brooke and Charlotte over the last few weeks. Yeah, it's been a rough couple of weeks between these two. In fact, last week on Monday Night Raw, Charlotte was in a match against upstart Bayley with Dana Brooke at ringside. I want you to watch what happens here. Dana hit it quickly, running into Charlotte, and Bayley, guys, would take advantage with a belly-to-belly suplex, hitting the women's champion. It's thinking about you. No, you are. You're sorry. Earlier today, I met with a doctor, and I had some bad news. You and your little journey is going to end on my terms. And this is how Dana Brooke was hoping to make things up to Charlotte, but Sasha Banks would not allow that to happen. That's Sasha making a huge statement and sending a huge message. The bad news wasn't for you. It was for Charlotte. Let her know at Clash of Champions, that title is coming back to me. Yeah, the bad news was delivered from Sasha to Women's Champion Charlotte. Charlotte, thank you for being here.
Nick, it's so good to see you. Yes, but before we get started, there's something that I really need to get off my chest, and what better way to do it than in front of the WWE Universe? Woo! I mean, I truly believe that after last week, an apology is in order.
An apology?
No, not you, Mick.
Okay.
Not you. No, Charlotte. You don't owe an apology. Okay, first of all, I would never apologize to you. You, sweetheart, owe me an apology. Do you understand how embarrassing it was to lose to Bayley? I mean, Bayley last week, and it was all your fault? I'm actually petitioning to have the record books changed to reflect that you lost to Bayley because it was all your fault. And actually, while you're apologizing, you also need to apologize to actually think that you can think for yourself, because you made a fool out of yourself last week when you tap to the bank statement. No, apologize for our friendship. More importantly, my mentorship is over. Charlotte, I am sorry that you are sorry.
Okay, Charlotte, I didn't really call you out here to discuss your personal grievances. I came out here to talk about the fact that Clash of Champions is less than 2 weeks away, where every Raw championship will be on the line, which means that your women's championship will be...
No need for the introduction, Nick. Allow me. Charlotte, you're looking at the face of this women's division and the one and only legit boss of the WWE. You're also looking at the woman who's going to take that title back in 2 weeks at Clash of Champions.
Now,
That's okay because I'm the one with the title.
she's getting better. It's Bailey. And remember when Charlotte stepped on it to go, she did and after a little bit, Bailey, black foot. What is this move about? Losing control.
I was loved. I would love to see Sasha compete for the championship tonight, but
What? What, Billy?
well, look, I know I'm the new girl and everything, but last week I beat Charlotte. So maybe if the person who deserves a title shot is me. Whoa. Bailey, look, you and I go way back, all the way to NXT, and you had my back at Battleground. But when it comes to that title, I have no friends. So you need to get in the back of the line because Charlotte and I have some unfinished business that I plan on taking. Please, Sasha. The only unfinished business that you and I have is me to continue that career-ending beating that I gave you at SummerSlam. So how about we settle it right now? No.
Blatant disrespect from the boss.
Let me remind you that I am the only champion in this ring, and you, sweetheart, don't get to dictate when I defend my title.
She's right, Sasha. You don't dictate when she defends her title. But you don't dictate it either, Charlotte. I do. I'm the general manager now. Granted, originally, Sasha, you were supposed to get your rematch at Clash of Champions in 2 weeks, but now I'm having second thoughts.
Oh, well, maybe, Mick, I should have your job because it looks like Bailey doesn't believe in, Sasha's little entitlement act anymore and thinks that she's the future of the women's division. And we all know that Sasha really doesn't think that Miss Fangirl belongs in this ring. More like WWE camp. Definitely not Monday Night Raw. Really. No, but Sasha, I agree with you there, sister. Listen, Mick. Obviously, Sasha and Bailey should be fighting over who's worthy enough to compete against the Queen. But maybe another best of 7 series is in order. Dana, did I ask for your help or your approval? You talk again tonight, I will slap the taste out of your mouth.
All right, I've come up with a decision, all right? Charlotte will defend her title at Clash of the Champions in 2 weeks against the winner of a match tonight, pitting Sasha Banks against Bailey.
Really?
Why on earth would Dana Brooke do that? They were fed up. Where's Lucha? And Dana Brooke, a triple threat match. Dana Brooke,
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Excuse me. This would definitely be insane if Dana Brooke won. I'm going to tell you something right now. Dana Brooke slapping Charlotte was worth the whole segment. It really, truly was. Dana Brooke just looking at Charlotte and saying, fuck you, bitch, was pretty much the highlight of that whole segment for me. Because I'll be honest, that was a terrible way to open the show in general. First of all, Charlotte is speaking. Anytime Charlotte is speaking, you might as well mute the TV because you're not going to hear anything productive. It's going to be the most boring goddamn segment you will ever see in your lifetime whenever Charlotte's in the ring. Sasha Banks, good promo, usually a good promo, but not this time. And I'm getting real sick and tired of every time she says me, she sounds like she's saying Mia. It's like, I don't know if it's a Boston thing. I don't know if she's just illiterate, but I hate it. I find it annoying. Allow me. Just say me. Be like, I don't know if it's a Bostonian thing or if she's just terrible at speaking, but that's just something that irritates me personally. I can pinpoint it when it happens, and as soon as I hear it, I am instantly turned off by anything else Sasha Banks says after that. And Bayley, look, ladies and gentlemen, y'all know how I feel about Bayley. But I'm getting really, really annoyed with the goody two-shoes thing, where she's like, but maybe that got annoying very quickly. I don't know if this is the main roster creative team trying to make Bayley this insecure person that's like, well, maybe if anyone deserves a title shot, it's not cute. It's not cute. And I know I have to believe this is the main roster creative team doing this. Look, Bayley has a bubbly personality. We all know this. But we don't need her to be out there looking all insecure that maybe I should get a title shot. When it comes time to get in the ring, Bayley needs to be aggressive. And when it comes to the women's championship, she needs to be more aggressive. Now, when she comes out to the ring, she can be all, friendly and the wacky waving inflatable arm flailing tube man and, giving hugs and treats to people in the ring, like whatever she wants to do. But when the bell rings or it comes promo time, she has to be able to be aggressive when standing across from someone. Now, if she's in the ring by herself, cutting a promo, or backstage, cutting a promo, then she can be a little bit of the bubbly person. But anytime she's in the ring wrestling or cutting a promo face-to-face with somebody, she needs to show that aggression. And I know that she is capable of showing that aggression. But the problem is, I feel the creative team is not letting her do that. And I'm going to be honest, I did not enjoy the opening segment until Dana slapped Charlotte. That was when I finally decided that was the highlight of the segment for me. If that hadn't happened, I would have given this a complete and total F. Now I'll probably give it a D+. And on that note, we are going to move on to the next moment here, the first official match of the evening, which is the women's triple threat match with the winner to face Charlotte at Clash of the Champions, Dana Brooke versus Sasha Banks versus Bayley. And this match right here was great women's wrestling. I'll be very honest. This was this was some great women's wrestling that we saw right here between Dana, Sasha, and Bayley. I will say the chemistry between these women is phenomenal. As we know, Sasha and Bayley are capable of having a great match. But the problem is we see Dana acting so much like a lackey, acting so much like a sidekick, that people forget that she is a decent hand in the ring and that she can actually wrestle and does a hell of a job, which is why I've not been happy with the fact that Dana has been reduced to being a lackey, especially for Charlotte. The whole thing has just been a complete and total bullshit concept, and I have not been enjoying it one bit. I don't like the fact that Dana doesn't get the chance to show people how good she really is. Because in NXT, you saw her improve week after week after week. We saw it happen. And also, Dana in NXT had a massive chip on her shoulder. Because, A, she's beautiful, and apparently beauty is a sin to wrestling fans today. And also, because when she got recruited by the WWE, she was in the Arnold Classic, the bodybuilding competition. And as we all know, the IWC of today, if you're a beautiful person or if you're a bodybuilder, they instantly don't like you. It becomes a stigma, and that means they hate you before the bell even rings. They already don't like you when they hear the words beauty and bodybuilder. You are instantly hated automatically by default. So Dana had to prove herself, and she did, at least in NXT. Do I feel she got called up too soon? Most likely, yeah. I felt that she could have stayed in NXT and built that women's division up a little bit more. I felt like, the overkill of call-ups on the main roster has it's helped the women's division on the main roster, but NXT is fucked for the most part. But overall, I like the fact that Dana got to display her skills, the fact that she can, her submission holds, her shots in the ring, that she can hang with both these women, who are two of the top women in the in WWE right now. But of course, in the end, Sasha lost in the bank statement. Dana nearly taps, but Bayley breaks it up. Bayley then hits the Bayley to belly. Sasha breaks up the pin, rolls up Bayley. 1, 2, 3. The winner of the match, Sasha Banks. Now, I saw two things wrong with this. First of all, if Sasha Banks was already going to be the number one contender, why waste our time with this match? Number one, that I have a bit of a problem with that. Because we already knew Sasha Banks and Charlotte were going to fight at Clash of Champions. We already knew it was going to happen. It was already written in the books. Why waste our time with this match if Sasha was going to win? And also, here's another thing that I noticed that I'm not sure if they're going to address on this coming Monday of Raw. But when Sasha pinned Bayley, both of their shoulders were down. Both shoulders were down. Bayley did, because when Sasha did that roll up, she had the legs, but Bayley's shoulders were down, and Sasha leaned so far forward, her shoulders were also down. And there we go. And here's what I thought was stupid and goddamn ridiculous. At the end of the match, they raised Sasha's hand. She's announced as the number one contender. Replays are shown. And the commentators basically embarrassed themselves by not paying attention to the blatant double pinfall. Like, you could see it clear as fucking day. How stupid does WWE think its fans really are that we wouldn't notice that shit? Now, maybe the people in the stands, they might not have noticed it from the angle they were sitting, but if you're watching Raw at home, you clearly saw both their shoulders were down. Now, I'm thinking, the way I see it, basically, this is how I'm interpreting this. Either A, that was not supposed to happen and Sasha leaned too far forward, or B, they want to drag this out till next week. And then maybe have Charlotte complain that both their shoulders were down and neither one of them should face off for the title. And then I think maybe on Monday we'll probably see we'll probably see Sasha versus Bayley, and the winner of that match will face Charlotte. Or maybe they'll make it a triple threat match. That'll probably happen. They'll probably make it a triple threat match. Sasha versus Bayley versus Charlotte. And then something will happen at Clash of Champions where Sasha will pin Bayley and then Charlotte will lose the title without being involved in the decision. I'm calling it right now. That's probably what's going to happen. Or WWE might just move on with Charlotte versus Sasha as if nothing ever happened. And if that's the case, then WWE truly is out of its mind. If they just ignore the fact that there was a double pinfall, then Clash of Champions deserves to have the lowest pay-per-view buy rate or WWE Network download or live stream in the history of the network. That deserves to happen if you just brush over that as if nothing ever happened. And it fascinates me that WWE still thinks that in this day and age, with social media, with cameras and TV and everything else, that they can just make a mistake like that, sweep it under the carpet and go, I don't see nothing. And be like that cop at the crime scene that goes, okay, people, move it along. Nothing to see here. Even though there's a dead body right there on the fucking floor. I think that's something to see here. Like, I swear to God, that's exactly what this is. I swear to God, this is exactly what we had to deal with. And it's just, it's ridiculous. Just truly ridiculous. And I thought that was, in general, this is just a terrible opening to Monday Night Raw. That the fact that nobody noticed this shit and just pretended, oh, we don't need to know that. That's crap. Something's got to happen. And just when I thought this opening to Raw, just when I thought Raw couldn't get any shittier, after this, there's a bit of a commercial break and then a few announcements of matches, and we cut to the backstage area where Dana Brooke, who didn't win, but didn't get pinned either or submitted, is walking to the back all emotional, and then this shit happens.
I am so sorry. Do you know what I was trying to do? Shut up! Dana, get my bag.
Are you fucking kidding me? You had a golden opportunity to build up Dana Brooke, abandoning Charlotte, having Charlotte be all by herself and you have her go crawling back, who is writing this shit? Who sits in a creative meeting and goes, oh, this would be a good idea? What? Somebody who actually enjoys abuse? This is the dumbest fucking thing on the planet Earth. Just when you're starting to like Dana Brooke, this shit happens. I swear to God, if Dana Brooke is in Charlotte's corner at Night of Champions and she doesn't turn on Charlotte, I'm probably going to do away with Monday Night Raw as a recap. Because I can't afford to put myself through this crap anymore. Or if I do recap Raw, I'm skipping the women's segments altogether. Because this is goddamn ridiculous. It really is. Oh, that right there, pretty much, Dana had this epic moment where she slapped Charlotte in the face. The crowd got behind her. And then she goes crawling back. That was the most pathetic thing I've ever witnessed. And it served no purpose. Like I said, this entire opening moment has been worthless. This is not since the whole Divas Women's Revolution, this is the first time I've actually seen the women epically drop the ball in an embarrassing way. I am completely disgusted with all this. So I'm already not enjoying this episode of Raw. Raw's already gotten off to a bad start with me. This is usually the moment I would probably shut Monday Night Raw off and go watch something else. If I didn't have a podcast. Like, you guys, the Boochcast fans and listeners, you're pretty much the reason I put myself through this abuse. So that I can have a show to do. Oh, Jesus Christ. This was ridiculous. It's sickening. And on that note, we cut to the backstage area where at least something remotely interesting happens. And we see the Shining Stars. And they're hanging out with R-Truth. And of course, they're telling everybody about coming to Puerto Rico. And they decide now they're going to start selling Puerto Rico timeshares. And here's the Shining Stars have to say to R-Truth about buying a timeshare in the paradise of the Caribbean.
And now the summer's over, everybody's going to want to come to Puerto Rico. So our pitch to you is, why don't you invest in a timeshare at the Shining Star Resort and Hotel of Puerto Rico? Huh? And R-Truth, I could tell you need some R&R. Well, I need some R&R. And in Puerto Rico, you're going to be able to party with all those celebrities. All the who's supposed to Hollywood are going to be there. I'm talking about J-Lo. I'm talking about Sofia Vergara. Do I get to rap too? You can even rap with Ricky Martin if you want to. Well, I wanted to bring little Jenny. If you make that one-time payment right now, you can bring whoever you want on the house. How much? We take credit cards, so. Yes, hey, right now. Hey, sign me up. Puerto Rico. Puerto Rico. Hey, hold that beat up. Amigo, I need you to go. You take this out. Cash, probably. Oh. How you doing? When you get over here, a couple of ladies. Looks like a couple cheating comment if you ask me. Start out cheating. Well, last week we beat you guys fair and square in the middle of the ring. Fair and square? It's just like your Caribbean timeshare. Well, let me tell you something. You get the footage from last week, and you run that back. You grab the handful of change. Whoa, no, amigo. 5 figure discount. We're just two honest businessmen trying to share a piece of Puerto Rican paradise with the world. You want help? Absolutely not. Business? Well, I handle my business. I never let my business handle me. Right? Yeah, and me and you, we got some unfinished business. Oh, is that a tennis, my friend? The red flag is on the field right now, tonight. What did he just say to me? I think he accepted your challenge for tonight, and then after that, it wasn't too good for you. I'm getting a Rosetta's order. We're learning how to speak Spanish. I'll be bilingual from now on, bro. I don't know. You should make
Now you see, that's entertainment. That I enjoy. Shining Stars being funny, R-Truth wanting to bring little Jimmy with him to Puerto Rico, Goldust coming in, stopping everything, trying to pull him away because everybody knows timeshares are a scam. And here's the thing: when you go to I actually found out that when people try to sell you timeshares, or you sit in a room, they do that. They literally, it's almost like a torture method. Like when they literally will not take no for an answer when it comes to a timeshare. Like all they say is they want to leave. Sometimes they want to leave, but they do everything they can to keep you in that room. It's almost like it's the most legal form of torture that there is. Where you halfway through you realize I don't want this timeshare, but then another guy comes in, and another guy comes in, and another guy comes in. There are people who've they've done documentaries on it where literally people have walked out of a timeshare meeting in tears because they just felt so uncomfortable. Some of them get the timeshare under duress, where it's like, fine, I'll sign it. Just get me the fuck out of this room. It's ridiculous. Like I think people who sell timeshares deserve to be killed. I'll say that. If you're a person, you work for a living selling timeshares, I want you to know you are one of the biggest scumbags on the planet Earth. Hands down. Anyway, then of course Enzo and Cass show up. I love those guys because, I love it, talking about grabbing the handful of tights and being cheating con men and it was awesome. And they said the two honest businessmen trying to share Puerto Rico with the world. Enzo issues a challenge. Epico accepts it, and they walk off. At first, I thought it was Enzo and Cass against the Shining Stars again, but it turned out it was Enzo Amore versus Epico, and I'm definitely looking forward to that match because anytime I can see Enzo in a ring is great, and I know eventually they're going to have some great stuff to say when they step into the ring later on. But either way, that was a fun segment. Something to just, because nothing makes me happier than lighthearted comedy, especially during the train wreck that took place at the beginning of this damn show. So that gives us hope that things will go well on Monday Night Raw. And then after this, we cut to another section of the backstage area with Tom Phillips, who's backstage with the WWE Universal Champion Kevin Owens. And obviously in the main event, Kevin Owens is set to go one-on-one with Roman Reigns. Where basically if Roman Reigns can beat Kevin Owens, then the main event for the Universal title becomes a triple threat match. And here's what Kevin Owens has to say about facing Roman Reigns tonight and the potential triple threat match at Clash of Champions.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome my guest, the WWE Universal Champion, Kevin Owens. Kevin, Mick Foley has put you in a match tonight against Roman Reigns. Yeah, I know. I was there when they made the match, remember?
Yeah, I'm pissed off.
Now, let me guess, you want me to
share
my thoughts? You want me to say something controversial about this? Like, Seth Rollins is just jealous of me because Triple H finally realized that Kevin Owens is better than he is. Or maybe Roman Reigns doesn't belong in the same ring as me, ever. Not tonight, not at Clash of Champions, ever. Or maybe even something like our Raw general manager, Mick Foley. is only trying to stack the odds against me because he's frustrated, because he knows he was never on the same level as my mentor, Triple H. Well, you know what, Terry? I would never say any of those things, so forget it. What I will say, however, is that in 2 weeks, it will not be a triple threat match, because tonight I'm going to beat Roman Reigns, and I'm walking out of Clash of Champions, WWE Universal Champion. Trust me.
The problem is, if you weren't such a hack journalist, you'd realize the real story here. It's not that Mick Foley put Kevin Owens in a match with Roman Reigns. It's that Foley pulled Kevin Owens out of the highlight reel tonight, leaving me without a guest. But I'm too smart for Foley. I found a guest. And tonight, on the highlight reel, my guest is going to be Kevin Owens' ex-best friend, Sami Zayn. And I'm going to let everyone know who the real Sami Zayn is. You know what Sami Zayn really is? Tell him, Felipe. Tell him what Sami Zayn really is.
A stupid...
No! Sami Zayn is a stupid, giddy...
Okay. First of all, obviously, Kevin Owens, very entertaining. Love what he had to say. And I love the fact that he is not afraid to attack anybody for any reason. I love it. You know, the fact that, you know, Phillips, you know, he wants to say something controversial. He says that, you know, I love the fact that he said Seth Rollins is jealous because Triple H realized that he's better than him. And Mick Foley being jealous because he was never on the same level of Triple H as Triple H was back in the Attitude Era, which they're both low blows. Because, first of all, I do believe Kevin Owens is better than Seth Rollins. Actually, there's a lot of people I think are better than Seth Rollins if I made a good enough list. But, and of course, Mick Foley, mostly because of booking, you know, especially when Triple H was during Triple H's days of being a politician, you know, Mick Foley rarely got any good victories over Triple H. And I always hated that. The way I've always somewhat hated the way Foley was treated in the Attitude Era. I felt that in a lot of ways he deserved better. There were a lot of scenarios where I felt that he deserved a lot of opportunities, and I feel like they just used him to put Triple H over. He was just a guy that would put Triple H over multiple times. So, you know, I was never a fan of that. And then, of course, now all of a sudden Triple H is saying that Kevin Owens is his mentor. No, that Triple H is Kevin Owens' mentor instead of Seth Rollins. And it's interesting because we have not seen or heard from Triple H since he pedigreed Seth Rollins and handed the Universal title to Kevin Owens. And, you know, we're still waiting to see what's going to happen with that. But obviously, Kevin Owens, hell of a time. Jericho, I love it. Now, Jericho is going to have Sami Zayn on the highlight reel. And then, I love Jericho. He makes me laugh. The whole stupid idiot thing. And then the fact that he has the look on his face and the way he's pointing and just all the weird stuff that Jericho does. But that's what I love about Jericho. He's good at being a babyface. He's good at being a heel. And he's not afraid to look and sound stupid as a heel. In fact, that's one of the big advantages about playing a heel is that you could do whatever you want. When you're a heel, you can pretty much do whatever the hell you want to do. You have creative freedom. With a baby, if you're a baby face, you have a limit. But heels can pretty much do whatever they want, and it's fun. It's enjoyable to watch. Jericho having the ability to do all this stuff and just hang out. At this point, Jericho's just having fun in his career, and I like that, and I can see that. You know, he's not too worried about titles. He's not too worried about being a main event star. He'll always be a main event star. So now he can just kind of have fun, goof around, and be serious when the time comes. And apparently we have a caller on the line, and I'm going to assume this caller is going to have a lot to say. And this is one thing I've learned, is that whenever I'm on a day where I'm like, you know what, I'm not going to take callers today, I'm going to trudge through. There's always one persistent caller that just feels the need to say something. So I'm going to take this call. We'll see what's on this person's mind. And hello, you're on the Boochcast.
Well, good morning, good evening, good afternoon. Brother Anthony, this is Senor Sanjay, the IT representative, the Broken Gator. He wanted me to call to remind you and the followers of the Master Booch that he will be calling in tomorrow to call out the Kevin Dunn.
Oh, yes. Oh, so Senor Sanjay. Okay, so yeah, Gator's told us a lot about you. So, yeah, so he will be here tomorrow. He'll be calling out Kevin Dunn. I see. That's awesome. So you're the IT representative. What is it that you do exactly?
Well, I work the phone, and I work on the social media, and I make the curry.
Okay, so you operate the phones, the social media, and you make the curry. Oh, I didn't know Broken Gator liked curry.
He doesn't. He always throws it back at me and says that it tastes like the poop.
Well, that is true. I mean, Gator hasn't been much of himself lately.
I do not know what is going on. I mean, one day I was at home in India, next day I am here in the United States making the curry and working on the computer. I wanted to be a doctor.
Okay. Okay, so all right, so okay, so other than is there anything how long have you worked for Broken Gator?
What did you say?
The 15th of September.
Okay, about a week. And about 7 or 8 days.
7 or 8 days. Okay. All right, that's very yeah.
I live in a little shed outside of the house in the corner, back in the back somewhere.
Oh, cool. Well, at least you got your own place.
Yes, I have my own place. It is very nice. I make the curry there.
Wait, wow, you can make curry in a shed? That's one sophisticated shed.
Yes, as long as you have a stove, you can make curry anywhere.
Okay. All right. So I'm just saying I didn't know sheds had built-in stoves. I didn't know you could do that. I would have moved into the shed that my parents used to have years ago. I didn't know
what
that.
you do is you take the thingy to the thingy, and then you put in the cat line, and then you do the thingy with the thingy, and you put the thingy in. And when the thingy comes up, it makes the thingy go poof, and then the fire go poof.
I see. That makes perfect sense.
Yes, it is very good, actually.
Okay, so
especially when the fire goes poof. When
yes.
fire goes poof, it's a good.
Yes, that is good. Apparently, ladies and gentlemen, if you're just now tuning in, we're recapping Monday Night Raw. I've now been joined by Senor Sanjay, the IT representative for the for Broken Gator Ricky Ross, who will be calling in tomorrow to call out Kevin Dunn.
Yes. For some reason, he thinks I am from the Mexico. I do not understand it.
He thinks you're Mexican? Because I could have... What?
Yes, momentito.
Okay, I don't know what's going on here, folks. I am completely lost. I just... this is a confusing day. I'm going to tell you, folks, I need therapy. I need a whole lot of serious therapy. I need to see a doctor. I need to go lay down on a couch. I need some form of therapy, folks. This is... I must be sick. I don't know what's going on anymore. And I don't know what's going on. I don't know what to expect. I don't know what the heck's going on right now. And
I apologize for that interruption. Someone come up to the vehicle and started making the noise, and they started talking to me, and then there was the singing, then I could fix their computer, and I could not fix their computer.
okay, I'm gonna pretend that was English and that I understood completely.
The computer, I could not fix the computer.
Wait. Did you say Buddha? Something about Buddha?
No, the computer. I could not fix the computer. Momentito, por favor.
Okay. Why do I get the feeling he's trying to speak Spanish? I have no idea what's going on. I really don't. I'm lost. I am confused. All right. Well, apparently, Senor Sanjay has taken a vow of silence
I
here.
am so very sorry. I have to put my up to my dog. She wanted to know what I had to fix the computer again, and I told them no.
Okay. I'll pretend I know what that means.
The computer.
Okay.
But actually, the computer, the thing you check the email on.
Okay. Yeah, sure.
You know what I speak of?
I don't have a clue what you're speaking of. I'm not understanding any of this.
Okay, the thingy that you use to check the email. I'm talking about the email.
The email, yeah, your password?
Yes, somebody wanted me to fix that computer.
Okay.
The computer, you know what I talk about, the computer?
Yeah, your computer, yeah.
Yes, because apparently people think that I can fix the computer and all I am is a doctor.
Okay.
I don't know, I haven't quite figured that out yet, but I make the curry.
Okay. Computer, you make the curry. That's all I'm deciphering out of this. Like, I need an interpreter or something. Like, this is...
Well, everybody keeps asking me where I am from when I say they think I am from India, and I'm actually from Eastern Ohio.
Okay.
Yes, I am from Cleveland.
Okay. Yeah.
And my full name is Sanjay Alabama. Last name John.
Okay, well, anybody out there who speaks Indian, you probably understood what he just said. I, on the other hand, am completely in the dark, and I'm...
Last name John. My name is last name John.
Your name is.
This is why I do not call it to cast the Boochcast on speculate because people cannot understand my Cleveland accent.
Yeah, apparently not. Apparently not.
People cannot understand. I mean, what do you do to meet somebody from Cleveland? Do you not understand their accent?
Yeah, I never really been very good at understanding accents. It's kind of a default of mine.
But Anthony, that makes you a very bad actor. You cannot understand the accent.
Well, I guess so.
I mean, really, that makes you like a terrible actor. Well, it's the date I wanted to speak to you before we hung up on the phone. So, can Victor get us speak to you for a moment?
Sure. Why not? That'd be great.
Brother Anthony, I know you'll come.
Somehow he knew, folks.
Please, thank you to my faithful ID representative by internet technician, Senor Sunday, who is up to defend the Mexican.
Yes, he was. He was an interesting guy to meet.
Yes, Senor Sunday is quite intoxicating to encounter. Brother Anthony, I have had a premonition. The premonition did state that I would call into the Boochcast today to sing what I shall do on the 5th day of the week in the month of September.
Okay.
So, Brother Anthony, I shall call out the Caddyshack tomorrow, and we will have delusion.
Yes. We are aware the direction of these.
I won't fucking tell you. Damn it, Sanjay, don't bring the fucking carrot. I apologize for the interruption.
It's okay. I stopped trying to make sense of this 5 minutes ago.
Yeah, sense of something is something that people must do in order to make sense of what has happened in the past, the present, and the future.
Yes, absolutely. Past, present, future. Yeah.
Yes, Anthony. Past, present, and the future. The future is now, Brother Anthony. It's like the NXT.
Yes. The future is now like the NXT. Yes.
Yeah, no, the NXTs, Brother Anthony, is plural.
Oh, the NXTs. There's more than one now?
No, well, kind of. There has been a tournament to crown a master of the cruiserweight.
Oh, yes. Yeah, there was the tournament to crown the new cruiserweight, the Cruiserweight Classic. The finale was yesterday.
But today I do not want Kenny Curry. You know Frank Curry. I don't want the Cam Curry. But you said you wanted more Curry. I thought that you not wanted Curry meant that you wanted more Curry. I don't want any more damn Curry. I apologize for
Well, it's obvious you don't want any curry.
They attempted to hand me curry, to which I smacked him in the face.
Oh, Senor Sanjay's been slapped in the face. Hopefully he's okay.
Yes, he is fine. Now I must depart for the Anthony and go into the Kentucky Fried Chicken and retrieve the chicken because Senor Sanjay cannot make the chicken, which is kind of funny to me, dude. You would figure Mexicans would know how to make the damn for you.
That is true. I expected better.
I apologize for that interruption. But I must depart from us now until tomorrow. Brother Anthony and the cast of Booch, I shall return.
All right. Well, we'll definitely see you tomorrow, Gator. And okay, folks, I'm gonna be straight up honest right now. I do not know what the fuck just happened. 1 minute I'm talking to we've heard Broken Gator talk about Senor Sanjay, his IT representative. I have no idea what just happened, folks. That was a moment of confusion. So I guess we're just gonna have to jump right in. We're gonna go right back to the Monday Night Raw recap. I have no idea what. Okay, wow. Oh man, I wish I was playing a long clip right now, but. Anyway, we have the next match of the evening, which is Bo Dallas one-on-one against Brandon Scott. Now, apparently Brandon Scott, in this case, is a jobber, but he's a guy who's done a good share of wrestling around the indie scene. In fact, I think Gator told me once before he became Broken that he may have managed this guy in the past, back on the indie scene. And Bo Dallas gets in the ring as Brandon Scott is waiting for him. Bo Dallas, before the match, grabs the microphone, and here's what he has to say. Turn the volume up here. Go.
Lending help has got to go. There's nothing left for me to show. I should have said this long ago. Only I can believe in Bo.
So, Bo Dallas, different attitude here, is going to take on Brandon Scott.
That's right. As I mentioned before, the man's name is Brandon Scott, and let me just say here, I'm loving Bo Dallas's new gimmick. I like this. He's aggressive. He's crazy. They're taking Bo Dallas in a whole new direction. And of course, the bell rings. Bo Dallas just beats down on Scott. Scott quickly away and sidesteps him to get him out of the ring, then hits him with a drop kick, but Dallas quickly picks him up, slams him down. All of a sudden, there's a chant, "Let's go, jobber. Let's go, jobber. Let's go, jobber. Let's go, jobber." They don't even call him Brandon. They just call him Jobber. Dallas gives him a trio of gutbusters before giving him a clothesline. Dallas taunts the crowd before giving him a rolling cutter for the win. 1, 2, 3. The winner of the match, of course, Bo Dallas. And I like the fact that Bo Dallas is now doing his thing where he's getting moments to work in the ring with enhancement talent, kind of similar to Nia Jax and Braun Strowman. And I think eventually we could see Bo Dallas. I see him becoming a future contender for the United States Championship. This guy definitely has what it takes to be a good mid-card talent. I don't know. Excuse me. I don't know if I would put him in the cruiserweight division or not. but I do know that he definitely has a shot at being a great United States champion. Don't think he'll be a world champion, at least not now. It'll probably be years before he touches that belt. But either way, he's got a decent shot at the top. And Bo Dallas, is doing very well for himself. So Bo Dallas gets the victory, ends up, adding another win to his record, and we'll see over time how this character progresses and where he goes from here. And on that note, we're going to move on to the next match to the next moment. We got Chris Jericho's highlight reel with special guest Sami Zayn. Apparently, it was originally supposed to be Kevin Owens, but he ended up having to get Sami Zayn instead due to Kevin Owens having to face Roman Reigns in the main event. So Jericho grabs the microphone, and this is what happens between him and Sami Zayn.
Welcome to what was supposed to be the greatest edition of the highlight reel in WWE history, featuring a man who's so honorable, so inspirational, that Tom Cruise will probably play him in the movie version of his life. Although Brad Pitt could as well. He's that handsome. I'm talking about my best friend. I'm talking about my brother. I'm talking about the longest reigning Universal Champion in WWE history, Kevin Owens. But instead, that selfish SOB Mick Foley put him in a match with Roman Reigns, took him out of the highlight reel, leaving me holding the bag. All right? But how can you replace a guy like Kevin Owens, who's at the top of the mountain, the tippy top of the mountain? You go the opposite direction. So tonight, my guest is the lowest of the low. Tonight, my guest, please welcome to the highlight reel, Sami Zayn.
The lowest of the low. He is the underdog of the underground pirate. I don't know how much lower you get than underground. I'm sure what you want about Sami Zayn, Corey, but last week right here on Monday Night Raw, he was involved in one heck of a main event with the WWE Universal Champion Kevin Owens. Absolutely, but when you're expecting against the magnitude of Kevin Owens, a Brad Pitt, and then you get stuck with Seth Rogen, I mean, it's a disappointment. Understandably, Jericho's disappointed. Now, quote-unquote, Seth Rogen has a lot of support from the WWE Universe.
Well, hey, first and foremost, thanks, Chris Jericho, for that glowing introduction. I mean, that's superstar treatment right there. I appreciate that. Yeah. Would you expect me to stand here and sing ole, ole, ole? Huh? Quiet. All right, you can quiet down now. That intro was perfect for a lowlife like yourself, Zane. I mean, no wonder Kevin Owens dumped you as his best friend. I mean, he won't even look at you backstage anymore. He walks right by you. In fact, you don't even have his new phone number anymore, do you? I got it. You want it? Can't have it. You probably want to know why I even invited you on the highlight reel in the first place.
Actually, that's exactly what I'm wondering, Chris. What am I doing here?
I'll tell you what. I want to know what kind of a man you really are, Zane, to blow your friendship with Kevin Owens. That's not Kevin. He's an honorable guy. Like I said, he's an inspiration in this ring. He's the WWE Universal Champion. So when I think about the Owens and Zayn relationship, I realize that the problem was you.
So you seriously brought me out here to talk about Kevin Owens. I've already said 1,000 times I'm done with him. Right? I could care less. Actually, let me rephrase that, because I do care about one thing, and he has it, and it's the WWE Universal Championship, which I promise I will one day possess myself. I'll tell you what, Chris, if you want to bring him up, and since you're standing right here, here's a little tip for you. If you truly think that he's your best friend, you think he's your brother, then you truly are a stupid idiot. You shut your mouth and be quiet. You see, Zane, you're just like all of them. Condescending, name-calling, rude. Yeah, you're just like everybody here. You're a taker. Sami Zayn, you're a taker. Me, I'm a giver. Yeah, I give people what they want. I'm giving all these heathens here tonight what they want. I'm giving them what they need. I'm giving them... No, listen, the gift of Jericho. Quite frankly, that gift sucks. All right? The only gift Kevin Owens ever gave me was the gift of showing me his true colors, which I promise he will show you one day, because the truth about Kevin is he doesn't care about the fans. He doesn't care about you. He only cares about Kevin Owens. And that's the truth. You know what the truth is now? I see it, Sammy. That's the jealousy. Right there, the little jealousy monster coming out of you. Yeah, right there. You're jealous. You're jealous that Kevin Owens is the longest reigning Universal Champion in WWE history. And you, well, you're just Sami Zayn. Do you hear yourself, man, at all? Like, is there any semblance, any shred of the old Chris Jericho left at all? Do you realize that one of the reasons Kevin and I traveled the world to get here the way we did was because of you? It was because of guys like you, guys like Dean Malenko, guys like Eddie Guerrero, all right? Journeyman, craftsman. I've spent my entire adult life traveling the world so I could be successful here like you. For God's sake, you're a 6-time WWE World Champion. You're the first ever undisputed champion, but now you've been relegated to being nothing more than Kevin Owens' bitch. So you really think that's backing up? You know what's funny? Before we came out here, I got a text from Kevin Owens telling me what to expect from you. You want to know what he said? I'll show you. Oh! My goodness! Oh, a code breaker! Really, Sami Zayn's hurt. Struck a nerve with Chris Jericho. I'll show you. And cheap shot by Jericho. Zayn had no clue what was going on, and now the code breaker is Byron victory. Apparently, Zayn's last statement struck a chord with Chris. Struck a chord and angered Jericho, and Jericho made Sami Zayn pay.
Well, I guess it's safe to say the highlight reel ended the way it always does, with somebody getting knocked the fuck out. Now, obviously, it hasn't been announced yet, at least I don't think, but there's a good chance that Chris Jericho and Sami Zayn are going to face off at Clash of Champions. This is going to lead to a rivalry where Jericho or Sami Zayn thought he was done with his rivalry with Kevin Owens. We all thought he was done with the rivalry with Kevin Owens. But now Jericho wants to start shit with Sami Zayn because it's basically the former best friend of Kevin Owens versus the current best friend of Kevin Owens. So this is pretty much a never-ending thing, which is why, admittedly, I was really pissed off at the fact that both Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens were drafted to the same show. Because don't forget, a few weeks back, one of the main events was Kevin Owens versus Sami Zayn. I was disgusted. The fact that they gave us that match again when we'd already seen it happen 1,500 times. So at least this will be able to take Jericho and Zayn in a new direction. It allows Jericho to work a match with Sami, while at the same time, putting in a filler match between all the championship matches taking place. Because we now know Sasha will face Charlotte for the women's title. Kevin Owens has Seth Rollins and possibly Roman Reigns for the world title. The New Day's got Gallows and Anderson for the tag belt. So essentially all the belts are on the line, except for the U.S. title, which is yet to be discussed. But obviously, that needs to happen as well. So I guess we'll figure all that out down the road. But either way, the highlight reel was great. Sami Zayn got a lot of good cheap shots in on Jericho, verbally at least. Brought up this whole emotional thing about traveling the world. And then Jericho being a 6-time world champion, the first ever undisputed champion, but now it's just Kevin Owens' bitch. And that the gift of Jericho sucks. And, just Jericho showing that he's malcontent with having Sami Zayn, with having Sami Zayn on the show in the first damn place. And just everything in between. And on that note, what we're going to do is we're going to move on to the next match here. And then this is basically match number 5 in the best of 7 series. Because we've already mentioned this before, but I'll mention it again. Last week, Sheamus defeated Cesaro on Monday Night Raw to make the best of 7 series 3-0. However, at a house show in London, Cesaro beat Sheamus and made the score 3-1. So basically, Sheamus still has to win one more match, but Cesaro has to win 3 more. So we'll see what happens. This is match number 5 of the best of 7 series, Cesaro versus Sheamus. And here's the thing, and this is why I kind of laughed at the fact that Dana Brooke earlier wanted to put a best of 7 series between Sasha and Bayley, which a part of me wouldn't mind seeing that. And I'll be honest, part of me wouldn't mind seeing that. At the same time, I think the best of 7 thing is not something that WWE should abuse. I think Cesaro and Sheamus are both fantastic competitors. And I think, Cesaro always talks about, the language he likes to talk about is the language of wrestling. The talking that he likes to do in the ring. So because he likes to do his talking in the ring, this is perfect for Cesaro. And it's also perfect for Sheamus because the more ring time he gets, the more you get to see how great of a wrestler Sheamus is. And what's interesting about this is that this match basically, eventually though, these matches do get repetitive because every match is the same. Because how much can these guys really do in a match? Most of the time what we're seeing is it's the same grappling, just different high spots. And then of course every now and then they'll break out a new move or do something a little different, but most of the time the match is pretty much the same, except Sheamus puts a lot of emphasis on targeting the lower back since Cesaro's back got injured during this rivalry. And what's even greater about this is that an interesting thing here is Sheamus immediately draws an Irish Curse backbreaker, but Cesaro kicks out. Sheamus goes for the Celtic Cross, but Cesaro slides off, rolls him up, and gets a foot on the rope for leverage. He kind of, he doesn't put his foot physically on the rope. He kind of pushes his foot towards the rope to kind of keep Sheamus bent over and then to keep Sheamus rolled up. And then after the 3 count, gets out of the ring. And Sheamus celebrates the ring. Sheamus is in the ring. Sheamus is livid. He's pissed. He's angry. Cesaro walks up to the LED board and taps the number 2, showing the emphasis that Cesaro has beaten Sheamus, and the score is now 3-2. 3-2 is the score. The score is 3-2. One team has 3, the other team has 2. The score is 3-2. So basically what this means is Sheamus still has to win one more match and this whole thing is over. Cesaro has to win the next match and then the match after that. So now there's a good chance that match number 6 is probably going to take place this is what I predict. It's going to happen this coming Monday on Raw. And then and then the following Sunday at Clash of Champions. Next Sunday at Clash of Champions, we're going to see the final match in this best-of-7 series. That's what I predict. We're going to see this match happen in the best-of-7 series. It's going to conclude at Clash of Champions. They're going to end it right then and there. Once that's over, the championship will be okay. That's how I feel anyway. I think once this match ends, we're going to see a hellacious battle at Clash of Champions. And then after that, I think Cesaro will start pushing towards, or Sheamus, whoever wins, will start pushing towards the Universal title. They're going to become a potential number 1 contender, especially if Kevin Owens wins next Sunday. If Kevin Owens walks out of Clash of Champions, the Universal Champion, I see Sheamus or Cesaro being the next number 1 contender. That's how I feel. I think there's going to be another way to book this. And that's how I see the next few episodes going. I think that's how it's going to go. But overall, I like the fact that Cesaro won the match. I like the fact that they're going to drag this out. And I think they're going to go to match number 7. And I think that at the end of this rivalry is going to benefit both of them. Because both of them are going to come out of this looking amazing, and both of them are going to come out of this being taken seriously. I think the winner of this match should become an instant main eventer, and the loser should be on the mid card. But no more being resident jobbers for either one of these guys. And I think that the winner of this should become a number 1 contender for the Universal Championship. I feel this is too good to be relegated to the United States title. And on that note, we cut to the backstage area with Mick Foley, who's just backstage, hanging out, when all of a sudden in walks Seth Rollins. And here's what goes down between these two men. As we all know, there's a triple threat match going on, and Seth Rollins is obviously pissed off at Stephanie McMahon because she truly believes that she knew that Triple H was going to get involved and cost Seth Rollins the championship. But here's what goes down between these two.
Hey, Nick, look, I have a bone to pick with you. Last week, you and I thought we were getting on the same page. I really thought you were starting to come around. You saved me from being suspended, and you gave me my match, Clash of Champions, with Kevin Owens for the WWE Universal Championship. So I got to ask you, what's the deal with giving Roman Reigns an opportunity to get into this thing and make it a triple threat? That doesn't make any sense to me.
Roman Reigns was just as wrong as you were. It was the right thing to do.
Oh, and so it's about fairness, it's about equal opportunity. That's the deal? Look, there's no comparison between myself and Roman Reigns. If you need evidence, why don't you go binge watch some WWE Network over the last couple of years? Look at Roman Reigns' stuff and look at mine. I'm the man, and he isn't.
Well, if you're that much better than Roman, you shouldn't be worried.
It's not about me being worried. I'm not worried if Roman gets in the match. I beat him every single time. We're in the same ring together. The point is, I don't want any distractions. I want to get my hands on Kevin Owens and get my hands on that Universal title. And if you're not going to do anything about it, if you're just going to let this whole thing play out, then maybe we should ask Stephanie, huh? Maybe we should find her. Where's she?
I was just in touch with Stephanie. Stephanie's in Singapore. She's talking at the conference. Listen, Stephanie has nothing to do with Triple H's actions, okay? And she has nothing against you, all right? I've talked to Stephanie. The only wins and losses Stephanie McMahon cares about are Raw's victories over Smackdown.
That's the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard. Look, if you're going to stay in Stephanie's pocket, that's one thing. But if you're not going to do anything about this, I'm not afraid to take matters into my own hands.
No! Don't go there. You can say whatever you want about anything else. My shirt, my hair, my beard. You can say I was overrated in the ring. Just don't question my integrity. Grant me that. And tell me that you will not interfere in that match with Kevin Owens and Roman Reigns tonight.
What, Nick? You going to suspend me? Look, I won't question your integrity. But if you're going to continue to support Stephanie like you have, a hardcore legend or Hall of Famer, doesn't matter. You're just a fool.
Well, obviously, tension and passions are high in this situation because obviously Foley does not like his integrity to be questioned because, Foley has always done the right thing. And he's not looking to be manipulated by anyone. He's not going to be insulted, and he's not going to take any crap. Because when he agreed to work with Stephanie, he made that very clear. And Mick Foley is not afraid to stand up for himself, just like when he overturned Stephanie's decision to suspend Seth Rollins and instead gave him the shot at Kevin Owens for the Universal Championship. And, of course, Stephanie did threaten to fire Foley if she ever exuded or tried to overrule her authority again. So a lot of tensions are high in this whole thing, but that is that question. Is Stephanie involved in all this? And if she is involved in all this, what is that going to do for her relationship with Foley? Is Foley going to remain the general manager? Will Triple H take over as general manager and we see the Authority run rampant on Raw all over again? I mean, there's a variety of different scenarios that can happen here. But the one thing that I know for sure is that Seth Rollins and Triple H, they need to be face-to-face at some point. You can't just put Triple H off TV. Something has to happen. Triple H has to make a return eventually. He has to address what he did to Seth Rollins and explain to him and the WWE Universe why he turned on a guy that he built up as the future, that he shoved down everyone's throats, that he pretty much handed everything to on a silver platter. And then suddenly side with Kevin Owens. What happened? Why? What did Seth do to deserve it? That's got to be addressed at some point. You can't just pretend that didn't happen. And on that note, we're going to move on to the next segment here, or the next match, which is Alicia Fox versus Nia Jax. Now, Nia Jax, of course, this whole thing revolved around last week when Nia Jax basically beat up a jobber who was best friends with Alicia Fox. And Alicia kind of went crazy and started going nuts, and then Nia shoved her, and then Alicia continued to go nuts. So this led to this match tonight. So Nia Jax, for the first time, fighting someone who's not a jobber, per se. And before the match, Nia Jax is backstage with Tom Phillips, and here's what she has to say about stepping in the ring with Alicia Fox.
Nia, how do you plan on dealing with someone as unpredictable as Alicia in your match tonight?
I've dealt with wackos like Alicia. I don't do crazy. She can be as unpredictable as she wants. Bottom line, Tom, I'm walking out of this curtain, and I'm going to beat the crap out of Alicia Fox until she can't get up or she gives up.
Like I said, Alicia Fox may be regretting not Nia Jax in the face of the Fox last week.
Well, she definitely did, as the bell rang and Nia Jax basically beat the crap out of Alicia Fox. Basically, although I will say this, Alicia Fox did get some action in. Hitting Nia with an elbow before jumping in the top rope. Nia shoved the top rope to the floor. Alicia booed her in the face. She comes outside, jumps on her back. But then Nia backs her to the ring post, slings her by the hair into the barricade a few times before throwing her down, and then spears her through the barricade, and the match is over. Now, I like this because this is the first time I think ever in WWE that a woman has ever done a spear through the barricade. Usually it's somebody like Brock Lesnar or Goldberg or Roman Reigns or Edge or someone whose finisher is the spear. But we've never seen a woman do that. So Nia Jax just completely takes out Alicia Fox, and the match ends in a no contest. Kind of similar to when Braun Strowman fought Sin Cara, and that match ended in a countout. That's what I like. I like the no contest in this. Because it shows that because now Nia Jax didn't get a victory or a clean victory over an established diva like Alicia Fox. Just like when Braun Strowman got the count out and didn't get a victory over an established wrestler like Sin Cara. Or was it Kalisto? I can't remember where each one of them went. But whatever. I think it was Sin Cara. It was Sin Cara. And Kalisto's on SmackDown. That's right. Kalisto was on SmackDown. Yeah. So Sin Cara. So that's a key thing right there. And I like that. Because eventually Nia Jax is going to have to lose. And obviously a lot of these women are going to end up losing to Nia Jax. But Nia Jax should not be steamrolling over established divas. That's for the enhancement talent and the jobbers. If Nia Jax is going to beat someone like Alicia Fox or like Alicia Fox, or Charlotte, or Sasha, or Bayley, or Dana Brooke, or some other woman whose name I can't recall, it's on Monday Night Raw. If she's going to beat somebody that's already established on the roster, then what they need to do is have it be a full-blown match where Nia Jax gets taken to the limit, especially on the main roster. Because Bayley beat Nia Jax in NXT. So you can't have Bayley go up against Nia Jax and have her just steamroll over. I don't care how casual these fucking fans are. If Nia Jax faces a woman wrestler that is already established, or a diva that's already established in WWE, then that needs to be a full-blown match back and forth where Nia Jax has to earn the victory. And that's why I like this no contest. And I'm hoping this leads to something. Okay. And then, of course, the trainers come down to check on Alicia Fox. Nia Jax just walks away. And then after a commercial break, we come back and we got the New Day making their way out to the ring. And, of course, Kofi Kingston and Xavier Woods with Big E in their corner are going up against Anderson and Gallows. Why? That makes no sense. They're already facing off. The New Day's already facing them at Clash of Champions, but whatever. So the New Day comes out, and last week they had to deal with Gallows, Anderson, and the Old Day, and which I thought was a pretty funny thing. It was actually pretty cool. But here's what the New Day has to say about the insults from Gallows and Anderson.
Last week on Monday Night Raw, Gallows and Anderson, the cool guys who sweet each other, they beat people up. They tried their hands at entertainment. Entertainment is our thing. Do not touch our thing. Don't touch it. But if you missed it, last week they brought out the Old Day. Let's check it out. We burned that footage. You'll never have to see that again. You'll never have to see it again. Thank goodness. Never. Thank goodness. No, thank goodness. Get it out. Never. Get it out. Get it out. We burned it. Terrible. Hey, we did the math, and Gallows and Anderson wasted 5 minutes and 37 seconds of your time. Sorry. 5 minutes and 37 seconds that you can never get back. I mean, can you think of all the cooler things you could have been doing in 5 minutes and 37 seconds? I mean, you could have pretty much listened to any song on the Hamilton soundtrack. That's true. I mean, all of y'all could have been online looking up Baltimore Ravens highlights. So, Coach, we're pandering now? We pandering? I did it for the reaction, but I think there's some Redskins fans over there. I mean, there are. Okay. Oh, boy. Okay. Wow, that doesn't happen. But, man, that skit was so bad, I wish someone would have Obi-Wan Kenobi'd me. What? Obi-Wan Kenobi'd you? What? This isn't the skit you're looking for. That was not the skit I was looking for. Are you hypnotized again? In 5 minutes and 37 seconds, we all could have poured ourselves a big old bowl of Bucci! In studios, they make sure you ain't food. So, in short, we want to apologize for Gallows and Anderson wasting your time. I mean, they literally took your time and threw it into a dumpster fire. But trust us, that will never happen again under one condition. And that is as long as we are your WWE World Tag Team Champions! Here come the positivity spoilers. Really? You stand in the ring pandering to a stupid crowd like Baltimore? Yeah, stupid. And you talk about Budios and you wear your stupid unicorn horn and we're the ones that are wasting people's time? At Clash of Champions, we're going to rip those stupid horns off of your head, beat you unconscious with them, and then take those WWE Tag Team titles. Well, ladies and gentlemen, coming up next, it is a SummerSlam rematch. Anderson and Gallows against Kofi and Xavier Woods live on Raw.
Well, that is one crazy moment right there, I will say. I love that segment. The New Day once again knocks it out of the park. And the fact that they actually timed the clip 5 minutes and 37 seconds, which, if I can recall, I believe they're right. That was exactly how long that segment lasted. So, which I found to be very intriguing. And then, of course, I love the fact he goes, you know, that's not the segment you're looking for. Those aren't the segment I'm looking for. And I love the fact that they played that off so well. I love the chemistry in the New Day. They are always great at making fun of each other. And how they try to say, let's show that footage. Psych! You will never have to see that again. What is it? You could have listened to any song on the Hamilton soundtrack during that time of how long that segment was. And I thought it was great. And then Gallows and Anderson come out, talk about them pandering to the crowd, and excuse me. And then, of course, that's when Gallows and Anderson come out, and they go back to doing what they do best. Being aggressive, being crazy, and essentially kicking people's asses. Because that's exactly what happens when we see this tag team match here. Kofi Kingston, Xavier Woods with Big E versus Anderson and Gallows. And this match, it was interesting. It's weird seeing Xavier Woods wrestle. And Big E standing in the corner. Looks very weird. Especially when I'm too used to Xavier Woods being out on the ring apron, yelling and trash talking and playing Francesca. You know, it's weird to see that's flip-flop. Because now Big E, he's not playing the trombone. He's just out there being an enforcer. And everything just seems to, in a way, come into play for everything involved. And what I love about this match, what I found so rewarding about this match, was the fact that we got a taste of what we can expect at Clash of Champions. Because the chemistry between these guys is phenomenal. Just phenomenal from start to finish. And the battles were great. The wars were fantastic. And in the end, Gallows... In the end, Kingston goes for a springboard. Gallows kicks him out of midair. Woods then kicks Gallows, but Anderson comes up behind with a running knee. They drop Woods with a magic killer. 1, 2, 3. The winners of the match, Anderson and Gallows. Now, here's my feelings about this. Unless the New Day gets a victory over Anderson and Gallows going into Clash of Champions, there's a good chance that the New Day is probably going to win, which is why Gallows and Anderson are winning right now. Because I want Gallows and Anderson to be the tag team champions. I want them to be champs. I want the belts off the New Day. But at this point, I don't see it happening. I honestly think if I do the prediction competition for Clash of Champions, I'm probably going to pick the New Day because I honestly believe at this point the WWE is never taking the belts off the New Day. They're just not. I think the New Day is going to be tag team champions forever at this point. I think it's goddamn ridiculous that they've been champions this long. I think this is stale. I think this is boring. And I honestly think that they're going to ride the New Day into the ground. That's what I think WWE wants to do. I think they're just going to ride them into the ground until there's nothing left. So I think the tag team title match is the one match I'm not looking forward to at Clash of Champions. Because I honestly don't think they're going to do the right thing and put the belts on Anderson and Gallows. I think we're going to see there's going to be some kind of fuckery taking place and the New Day is going to win. And on that note, we're going to cut to the backstage area where we see Roman Reigns walking around the back. Tom Phillips approaches Roman and wants to know what's going through his mind, knowing he'll be stepping into the ring with Kevin Owens for a chance to earn a title shot at Clash of Champions.
What's going through your mind? You have a huge opportunity in your match against Kevin Owens. To be honest, the only thing in my head right now is getting the Clash of Champions and winning the WWE Universal title. The only way I'm going to be able to do that, though, is by kicking KO's ass. And yes, sir.
All right. Roman Reigns, short, sweet, to the point. All he has to do is kick Kevin Owens' ass. And right now, there's a lot of fans who don't want to see that happen. And I'll be straight up honest. Normally, I would love to see Roman Reigns fight for the Universal title. But in this case, I don't want a triple threat match. I'm going to be, like I said before, I'm not real big on the triple threat match concept. It does get, I feel WWE abuses it. I feel that a lot of times they're uninteresting. Like, I like the one at Battleground because it was the Shield. But I just don't think a triple threat match is necessary. Unless you're going to crown a new champion and you don't want your champion to get pinned or submitted, that's usually the only way I would find it acceptable to have a triple threat match storyline-wise. That would actually make a little bit of sense to me. And so, like I said, we'll see what happens, but if Roman does get involved in this match, I won't have too many objections to that, to be honest. And on that note, we're going to move on to the next segment here. They talk about the Cruiserweight Champions coming to Raw this Monday. And then, of course, the next match of the evening is Jinder Mahal versus Jack Swagger. Now, before the match, Jinder Mahal actually grabs a microphone and has this to say before stepping into the ring.
Namaste. I haven't yet had the chance to explain my absence while I was gone. I felt hate, rage towards everyone and everything. Those sanadale, pora menu kusaya, harek bundete, harek cheese. But I have learned to let that all go. I have trekked in the Himalayas, spent time in the monastery, and I have found inner peace. Peace is more than just a word. Peace is a way of life. Peace is the gift that I want to share with all of you, the WWE Universe. Sare, Benar Bolo, Shanti, Shanti. Sare Gare Bolo.
Mr. Booch, from Perry, Oklahoma, weighing 275 pounds, he's a real American, Jack Swagger.
Jack Swagger. To intervene mindset versus Jack Swagger.
All right. Well, first of all, it's interesting to see Jinder Mahal actually speaking on a ring for once. And apparently he says he's now got this new gimmick of, I come in peace. Basically, it's his way of saying, I am not a terrorist. I'm not here to be a terrorist. I'm here to be a peaceful man. Yes, I wrestle in the ring, but that is purely sport. It is sport. It is competition. I come in peace. I am no terrorist. Pretty much is what happened there. And, of course, Jack Swagger comes out. And this is interesting because both these men are notorious for being jobbers. So it's interesting to see which one's going to job for the jobber. But these two have a very, very good match. And it kind of makes sense, you know, the Middle Eastern and the real American. Just great. Great storyline there. Not a shocker. And I actually learned something recently. And I learned this while watching, I think it was the Olympics. It was either the Olympics or it was some type of sport. I don't quite remember. But I remember a situation where, you know, somebody was foreign and they just started getting booed. And I learned in that moment that naturally this is why I learned that most foreign people, like Middle Eastern or French or whatever, why they're always heels. And it's not necessarily a racist thing or a stereotypical thing. I mean, it's stereotypical, but it's not racist. And I'll tell you why. Because they're going off the natural emotion of Americans. Usually when someone's foreign, your natural instinct is to boo them in competition. Someone taught me that. And I wish I could remember the exact scenario in which I realized it. Might have been a soccer game or something. I don't know. But I was taught this, and I learned this. And I realized this. That's why so many foreign people are always the heel. Because by instinct, we always boo the foreign people because we're all about USA, 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 USA. It's not necessarily that we're discriminating. Well, we are, but in a way, it's not necessarily a hateful thing. It's more of a love of country against another country when they compete. So I realized that's why foreign people get booed so much, or why they play heels. They're playing off the natural instinct of the American people. So if you want WWE to change, start by changing yourselves. Keep that in mind. Anyway, the match has decent wrestling, back and forth action, pretty good. Eventually, Booch goes for a Swagger bomb. Mahal gets his legs up, connects with a neck breaker. 1, 2, 3. The winner of the match, Jinder Mahal. So Jinder Mahal gets the victory over Jack Swagger. Now they're starting to build him back up again. And then, of course, at the end of that, we see Jack Swagger walking backstage. Tom Phillips comes up to him and says that his Raw contract is expiring soon. And Swagger just stares at him and walks away. So basically, the question here is, will Jack Swagger be let go? Could he jump to SmackDown Live? Because from the looks of things, that could be the case. Would he want to go to SmackDown? Is he going to go to SmackDown? Would it be in his best interest to go to SmackDown? Those are questions that are on Jack Swagger's mind. And I don't know. Maybe SmackDown might be a good choice for him. And on that note, I'm going to move on to the next segment here, the next match, which is Enzo Amore with Big Cass in his corner versus Epico with Primo in his corner. But of course, because it's Enzo and Cass, we have to have that traditional Enzo and Cass fun. And here it is.
My name is Amore, and I am a certified king and a bona fide star, and you can't beat that. And this right here is this Big Cass, and he's 7 foot tall, and you can't beat that. And I'm really sorry, realest guys in the room, how you doing? I was much better until these two arrived. Terrible. Let me tell you something, people. Eskimo Zoe ain't sweating Epico. All right? Now, the match you come down to this ring, a few things are going to happen. I'm going to hit you with a 1-2 banger and a open palm slap, take your dirt nap. And when you lay there in your dirt nap, automatically you have soiled yourself. What a perfect opportunity for me to do you a solid and plant them little hibiscus flowers you love. And then I'll ask you a question to which you won't respond, and I think everybody knows what it is. I'll say, how you doing? Shining stars, there's only one to describe you, and I'm gonna spell it out for you.
I love it. Once again. And another picture perfect promo. The part Enzo every week something better and more creative to say. Every single week he is knocking it out of the park. These guys are hitting home run after home run after home run. Why they're not the champions, I'm still trying to figure that shit out. Hopefully they become the next ones after Gallows and Anderson. And on that note, we have the match, Epico versus Enzo. And this match was good. We see some high spots, some great mat wrestling. These two guys are very good. These guys show that not only are they great in-ring competitors, they're also great characters. They know how to hit things properly. And I would go as far as to say either one of these men could join the Cruiserweight division, especially Enzo. I could see Enzo becoming a Cruiserweight champion down the road. And these guys are amazing competitors, great back and forth action. In the end, Epico takes out Big Cass with a suicide dive. Enzo then takes Epico out with crossbody blocks to the floor. Enzo gets in the ring, goes for a suplex in the ring, but Primo grabs Enzo's feet. Epico lands on top of Enzo. He holds on to his feet and picks up the victory. So basically, Primo holds on to the feet so Enzo can't kick out, and then Epico wins the one-on-one match. So the Shining Stars once again have cheated to get a victory over Enzo and Cass. Now, obviously they're heels, so the cheating is to be expected. I ain't mad about it. What I am saying is that the Shining Stars are starting to get some W's under their belt, and I think that that's going to be something that will help build up the Shining Stars as a tag team to be taken seriously. And that's what needs to happen in this tag team division. All the tag teams you've got have to build their credibility. You got to build the credibility of not just one tag team, all tag teams. All that's left now is the golden truth to get a little credibility back since that Pokemon Go bullshit. This is something that they really need to focus on and take very seriously. Because if they don't, they're fucked. At least the tag division is fucked. If they don't start to take this seriously. And on that note, we cut to the backstage area where we see Kevin Owens hanging out backstage when all of a sudden he bumps into Seth Rollins. Now, of course, Kevin Owens and Seth Rollins will be facing off at Clash of Champions for the Universal title. But before that, Kevin Owens has to step in the ring with Roman Reigns to make sure Roman doesn't get added to the triple threat match. And here's the confrontation between Triple H's former protege and apparently his now current protege.
You know what Foley said? You touched me.
No, Cat. Not like that. I wouldn't dream of. Look, I came here to wish you good luck, actually. Yeah, no, I want you to beat Roman tonight because I would love for our match at Clash of Champions to stay one-on-one. Because since Triple H is too much of a coward to show his face around here, I can't think of any better way to get revenge than to tear his little golden boy to pieces and take that title for myself. So really, good luck.
That laugh is really annoying, first of all. And second of all, I don't need luck. Trust me, Roman's not going to be in the match at Clash of Champions because I'm going to beat him. But you know what's funny? I would think that you want Roman in the match so that, well, he can do all the work, and then you sneak in and take all the glory. Isn't that how it used to work when you guys were in the Shield?
That'd be so cute, huh?
I am cute. Thank you for noticing. You think that's funny? You know what's even funnier? Hasn't it been like this your whole career? I mean, you always had somebody do the work for you, whether it was Roman or Dean or Kane or J&J Security or even John Stewart. But you know who had your back more than anybody else was Triple H. And I think that's all it comes down to. You're just really hurt that Triple H finally saw the light and realized there's someone better, and that's me. Oh, that's funny too. Well, let me keep going. I got something else that's funny. Let's talk about what you've accomplished since returning from your injury. So you let Raw down by letting Dean Ambrose take the WWE World title to Smackdown Live. You got beat by Finn Balor with one arm. All you've done since coming back is fail time and time again at getting this, while I won it my first chance. You know that little catchphrase, redesign, rebuild, reclaim? It's more like redesign, rebuild, replaced.
That's not fair. Jeremy, the match yourself. Get out of here. Sit down.
Yes, sir.
I know what you're thinking. Don't do it. So if you get involved in that main event tonight, there will be consequences. Got it?
Well, Mick Foley making it very clear Seth Rollins needs to stay out of the match. Obviously, Kevin Owens getting under Seth's skin. I love it. I love what Kevin Owens is doing right now. Redesign, rebuild, replaced. Burn! Burn! I love it. Burn! Burn, burn, burn! I love it. Like it. I love it. I want more of it. Make it hurt, Drill Sergeant. Make it hurt, Drill Sergeant. Make it hurt. Who? Love it. That was amazing. I love it. Kevin Owens calling Seth Rollins out on all his bullshit and making him look stupid. Anybody that does that is a winner in my book. And on that note, we are now going to commence with the main event of the evening, Roman Reigns versus Kevin Owens. Now, this match was very interesting. This match was aggressive and hard-hitting. Kevin Owens was amazing as a heel, as he not only beat up Roman Reigns, but Kevin Owens taunting Roman Reigns, talking about being, you the guy? You're the guy? I don't think so. And then, of course, like the crowd would chant, Roman sucks, Roman sucks. And it's like, listen to him, you do suck. Like Kevin Owens just he knows how to just say the words that are meant to crush your spirit. Like this guy, when he taunts someone, he hits below the belt verbally. He takes all the verbal cheap shots in the world. He's a vintage heel. Like this guy could literally is like the embodiment of everything that the Be a Star campaign is fighting against. Like that's the irony. Now, of course, Kevin Owens is playing a character, and I get that. So hold your calls. I understand that. I'm just making a point that Kevin Owens is great at playing a bully. He's so great at it. And so the match gets aggressive and crazy when all of a sudden Owens goes outside, pulls Reigns out, and then shoulder first into the barricade before William and Steel steps. As he celebrates, all of a sudden Seth Rollins runs down the ramp and attacks him. The referee calls for the bell, and Kevin Owens wins by disqualification, which means Roman Reigns doesn't get the shot. And he's beating everything down, and all of a sudden Mick Foley makes his way out to the stage as the referees separate Seth Rollins and Kevin Owens. And then Foley is pissed off, and here's what he has to say to Seth Rollins.
You couldn't do it. I saw you stay out of that. I do what I want. You do what I say. You do what I say. I said stay out of that. I asked you one favor, and you couldn't do it. And now we're going to have a talk. We're going to have a talk. We're going to have a talk. And you did. What are you going to do about it, huh? Hey, let's go. All right. I'm not taking that straight. Come on. Let's go. The match does not end like that. Restart the match. Great call. Great call. Kevin Owens has led the match has been restarted. Second chance for Reigns, but Kevin Owens puts the back on the attack. Private Roman Reigns into the stick.
Well, there we go. And first of all, let me just say here that I, for one, enjoyed this match immensely. I really did. Now, of course, I enjoyed the second half of this match immensely, I should say. So, obviously, Mick Foley doing the right thing, restarts the match, and the match continues. Now, the second match that took place, this one was basically high spots and move for move this time around. This time, no more taunting, no more bullshit. These guys hit each other with every move in their arsenal, which I know for Roman isn't very much. But Roman, to me, doesn't need 1,000 holds. He does well with the moves he's got, especially when he knows the proper time to place them. Now, of course, Kevin Owens dominating a great deal because of Roman, the attack by Roman. But Roman Reigns eventually gets back in the ring and is able to make he starts his comeback. Owens sends him into the ropes for a powerbomb. Reigns gets out, rolls him up, lifts him out, and connects with a sit-out powerbomb for a 2 count. All of a sudden, Rusev runs down and gets on the ring apron to distract him. Rusev just shows up out of nowhere. Reigns drops him with a Superman punch. Owens then sends Reigns in the ropes, hits him with a pop-up powerbomb. 1, 2, 3. The winner of the match, Kevin Owens. Which means now Kevin Owens and Seth Rollins will face off one-on-one at Clash of Champions. After the match, Rusev gets in the ring, looks livid, waits for Reigns to get up, drops him with a big kick, punches away at Roman Reigns, who is now out cold. Lana's holding the U.S. Championship and watching from the stage. Rusev stomps Reigns' spine, applies the accolade, and just completely chokes him out, and then stands over Roman and lets go and stands over Roman as he just lays there unconscious, going, Rusev, gosh. So now Rusev is finally back from his, Jesus Christ, a 20-day honeymoon. Who the fuck does that? Anyway, now he's back. So from the looks of things, it looks like we're going to see Roman Reigns versus Rusev at Clash of Champions for the United States title, which is good because at Clash of Champions, all the titles should be defended. Now, the one thing I will say, Roman Reigns should walk out the United States champion. Because this is another match that ended. This is a match that ended in a no contest at SummerSlam, which pissed off everyone in the Barclays Center, including myself. Even though I wasn't in the Barclays Center, I was at home and I was pissed off. And it was ridiculous. The whole thing was ridiculous. It was uncalled for. And it was unnecessary. We did not need a no contest like that at SummerSlam. That shit should not be happening at pay-per-views, or at least at one of the big major ones. So the way I see it, Roman Reigns and Rusev are going to face off for the U.S. title. Roman Reigns should walk out the United States champion. He should be the U.S. champion when it's all said and done. And that's just a fact. That needs to happen. Roman Reigns should walk out the United States champion. And all right. And that, ladies and gentlemen, will wrap up the recap of Monday Night Raw. Glad I was finally able to get it done. Now I see we got a good 40 minutes left in the show. And I think that'll be more than enough time to recap Smackdown. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to recap Smackdown Live right now, and then we're going to wrap up the show. And what I'll probably do is I think maybe I'll do it, depending on whether or not Desmond calls in tomorrow, I'll find out. If he does, then we'll do the show that we wanted to do. If not, then I'll probably turn that into another recap show where I'll do the Cruiserweight Classic, NXT, Lucha Underground, and TNA. Try to get it all done in one day. If I don't, I'll probably do a bonus show on Saturday where I'll do the remaining shows because I'm not going to be able to do it next week. And that'll make up for the fact that I took off on Tuesday. So on that note, we're going to move on to Smackdown Live the next night, which took place in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. And the show kicked off with AJ Styles coming out to the ring. As we all know from Backlash, he won the WWE World Heavyweight title from Dean Ambrose. And here's what AJ Styles has to say about officially becoming the WWE World Champion.
The champ is here! Hey. I hate to tell you so. I hate to say I told you so. Quietly, so let me yell it. I told you so. Everything I said I was going to do, I did. I told you I was going to beat John Cena. And at SummerSlam, I beat John Cena, and now I am the face that runs the place. And then I told you I was going to beat Dean Ambrose, and at Backlash, I beat Dean Ambrose and became the new WWE World Champion. If I told you I could beat Dean Ambrose and John Cena with one arm tied behind my back, you better believe it's the truth. According to AJ Styles, it is the gospel. Hey, if I told you to go out and get a lottery ticket, I'm going to tell you the numbers. Go out and get one because you're going to be a millionaire. If I told you the sky was green, don't bother looking out the window. It's green.
These lips don't lie. And this trophy right here is the proof. I am the face that runs the place. I am now the champ that runs the champ. Hey, did you guys hear me? I said I'm the champ that runs the camp. Billy, did you hear me? I said I'm the champ that runs the camp. World, I am the champ that runs the camp. You can hear all these people. They know what I know. You have something that belongs to me, and I've finally decided that I would like it back. You want it back, huh? Well, yeah, here you go, man. I don't need this thing anyway. I got the world heavyweight championship. You still have something that belongs to me. And bad news for you, I've finally decided that I'd like to take it back. That world heavyweight championship, because the greatest champion of all time has often said, to be the man, you gotta beat the man. Oh man, and if I can hold that goal just one more time, then woo, I'm in the conversation with the man. So, thinking about it, I couldn't think of a better person to make history off of than you. Because you are the face that runs the place. But I'm the man who doesn't quit, and I got one goal left. One goal in the WWE, and that is proudly to announce the 16-time champ is John Cena has his sights setting on equaling the record of the Nature Boy. Dean Ambrose has his sights set on avenging what happened to him Sunday at Backlash, John. Well, they still do a rematch. I would feel that Dean is not very happy. You made the biggest mistake of your life on Sunday, boy. I can handle losing a match. It's no big deal. Titles, they come and go, but what you did when you kicked me square in the jewels because you were getting your ass handed to you, you stole from me. And you made me your enemy. AJ, your life changes when I am your enemy. From this moment forward, I promise to make your life miserable. I'm not just going to take back my title. I'm going to take it back with interest. I'm going to bury you into the ground. Take back what's mine. Let me get this straight. You hung this dude by his crotch, and now you're complaining that you lost to a low blow? Oh, yeah, man, you really brought the fight to him like you've never seen before. You know what? Stone Cold was right when he called you out on his podcast. I'm actually surprised that low blow even hurt you because you ain't stepped up, you fell off. All you've been showing at WWE Universe is that you got no balls. I'm sorry. You must be mistaking me for somebody who gives a damn what you have to say. You must be mistaking me for somebody who gives a damn what you think, because I don't. Not at all. In fact, I have no patience for you, no patience whatsoever for you, and all your rah-rah speeches and all your sanctimonious bullcrap. You know what you are to me, John? You're a lazy part-timer. You know what? You're better off doing, television shows and award shows and movies and whatever else you do, because you can't keep up anymore. WWE uses you. WWE uses you as a corporate puppet because you're really good on morning shows and you look great on a cereal box, but they know, and you know, and I know, you can't get it done in the ring anymore. I mean, dude. You couldn't even get by this jump at SummerSlam. What makes you think you're ever going to get through me? Never, ever going to happen because I would never back down from some lazy Hollywood wannabe part-timer like you. You're talking about making anything, man, the commissioner of Smackdown coming out to make some sense out of all this. What's up, Billy? Thank you for that. Now, with all this amazing superstar talent in the ring and the emotions obviously running so high, I couldn't help myself. I had to come out here. And let me start by saying, AJ Styles, you and John Cena at SummerSlam, you guys tore the house down. I mean, give it up for them. They tore the house down. And AJ, you defeated John Cena in the middle of this ring. Clean. 1, 2, 3. That is an enormous accomplishment. However, all the blabbing I personally find offensive of you're the face that runs the place. Again, started getting a little bit on my nerves. But again, you've earned that right to say that. Okay, you've earned that. You also earned your right to get into Backlash last Sunday when you took on this man, the former champion, Dean Ambrose. And you guys tore the house down. Everybody was on the edges of their seats. It was seesaw battle back and forth all the way up until the very end when, AJ, you took the easy way out.
took the easy way out. You know, that's not exactly, you know, how I would have seen the WWE champion being crowned, a new one being crowned. But nonetheless, AJ, you are the WWE champion. And Dean, getting back in this, all of us, and I know emotions are very high, and Mr. Cena, I'll get to you in a second. Listen, one thing, you are owed your rematch, and that's something, Dean, that we're going to talk about at a later date. You will have your one-on-one rematch, and not at the moment. Because there's no mercy, AJ Styles, you're going to be defending the WWE World Championship against John Cena. And Dean Ambrose in a triple threat match. What's that? But that's said of no mercy. Let's talk about tonight. Tonight, emotions are going so bonkers. Billy's pumped up and excited, so this is what we're going to do. Tonight, since you guys are like animosity between the two of you, tonight you guys get to team up in a tag team match. It's you two guys together, John Cena and Dean Ambrose, against AJ Styles and a partner of your choosing. If you can find one. And since you're the champ that runs the camp, you should have no problem doing that. But if not, I'm sure our general manager will appoint one for you. Good luck, gentlemen. Wow. Major announcement from Shane McMahon that has ramifications going all the way to No Mercy Talk. Yeah, well, AJ Styles said that he could defeat Dean Ambrose and John Cena at the same time. I guess Shane McMahon took it literal. That's certainly what's going to happen. But tonight, AJ Styles needs to find a partner.
Damn. Now that was one hell of an opening segment to Monday Night Raw. Most definitely a hell. I mean, to Smackdown Live. Sorry. Blah. This is how half asleep I am, folks. All right. Well, Smackdown Live, I got to say I love this opening segment. Probably one of the best. John Cena comes back, says, you have something that belongs to me. Styles takes off the armband, being all comedic. He goes, no, I want that championship. So John Cena finally decided he wants to be a 16-time world champion. I'm not going to lie. There was a part of me that hoped that John Cena's gimmick or character would somewhat change and he would still be off TV for a little while longer, but I guess not. Obviously, I love the fact that Dean Ambrose came out, said some things to AJ Styles. The exchange between Cena and Ambrose was intense. I love that. Cena and Ambrose, who've never really had a problem with each other, decide to have a problem with each other, telling Ambrose, you got no balls. And Stone Cold was right when he called you out on his podcast, which was an ultimate burn, because that's still the worst podcast of all time in terms of Stone Cold podcast. And then, of course, Ambrose calling Cena a lazy part-timer, which I'm going to tell you something right now. That wasn't that terrible of a diss because, first of all, if Cena's a part-time, Cena may or may not be a part-timer right now, but we all know John Cena is not lazy. Anybody with half a brain knows that Cena is anything but lazy and juggles everything that he does. So obviously Dean Ambrose taking that shot, it didn't resonate too well with fans, but it was a good thing to get the Cena haters all jacked up and excited. Because some people are a little pissed off that Cena is going to go for the world championship. But at the end of the day, we all knew it was inevitable. I didn't think it would happen this soon, but I know it will happen. And also, I know eventually Ric Flair's record is going to be broken. And let me make this clear to everybody out there who doesn't know their history. If you are going to say that Cena winning the title is anything political, or you're going to blame politics on Cena possibly breaking Ric Flair's record. Let me make one thing perfect, or saying that all 16 belts were in WWE. Let me make this perfectly clear to all of you. Ric Flair, for those you don't know, here's his 16 world titles. 2 of them actually came from the WWE. The other 14 were in WCW or NWA. And here's a little side note for some of y'all. During some of those title reigns, Ric Flair was on the booking committee. Yeah, Ric Flair at one point was doing the booking. And he was champion how many times? 16. 14 of them he held in WCW, where he's on the booking committee for a period of time. It changed over time, but he was in there at one point. Yeah. So if you're going to call Cena out on politics, you might as well call Flair out on politics too. But Ric Flair drew money for the NWA. He drew money for WCW. Cena draws a ton of money from the WWE. And being a world champion is about more than just your ability to grapple. It's your ability to sell tickets. It's your ability to talk on the mic. It is your ability to get a reaction from the crowd. Nobody does those things better than Cena. So if anybody deserves to tie Ric Flair, it's John Cena. So I'd love to hear an opposing argument, but I don't think I'm going to hear one that's valid. Anyway, then of course Shane McMahon comes out and makes it a triple threat match. I kind of like the sound of that. At No Mercy, because here's how I feel. Let's say, for the sake of argument, John Cena does end up winning the 16-time world champion. You could preserve AJ Styles by having him pin Dean Ambrose. And I don't see it as a burial of Dean Ambrose because, in all honesty, Dean Ambrose has not really, if we're honest here, he hasn't really stepped up a whole lot. He hasn't. He hasn't stepped up. Fans are getting sick of him. A lot of people are getting tired of Dean Ambrose, and they're not really feeling what he's doing anymore. So he's not cutting it as a champion anymore, and if Cena beats him, it's really no great loss. Because Ambrose wasn't cutting it as world champion anyway. And then there's always the possibility of Styles having another match with Cena, beating John Cena one-on-one, and regaining the world championship. And then Styles becomes a major player because not only did he beat John Cena, he beat John Cena for a second world title. And then that title reign can go on for a while until Cena decides eventually to break Ric Flair's record and be a 17-time world champion. Or they might just have him tie Rick. They may not have him beat Ric Flair's record. He might just tie with Rick. We'll see what happens. Ain't a lot of stars really that are going to beat that record anymore, especially with all these championships. I don't see them making a guy a 15, 16-time world champion. I think those are rarities we're never going to see in the WWE again. Like Triple H being 14-time champion, or Randy Orton, the 12-time champion. The Rock's already 10-time champ. I don't think those things are going to happen much. We're not going to see a lot of that happening anymore. So if there was a time to beat Ric Flair's record, I think Cena would be the guy to do it, because I don't see anybody else being 16, 17-time world champions. I just don't see it. I guess some people might think that Ric Flair's record shouldn't be broken because he's one of the all-time greats ever, blah, blah, blah. I think records are made to be broken. And if somebody's qualified to break them, and Ric Flair's even said, I don't care if Cena breaks my record. I would want Cena to do it. He's gone on record saying that in the ring, out of the ring, he is fine with it. Because he has respect for John Cena, even if there's people out there who don't. And on that note, we move on to the first official match of the evening. This is a rematch from Backlash, the Hype Bros versus the Usos. This match was, it had the same result. The Usos catching Ryder with a super kick. Jay goes upstairs, connects with a frog splash, gets the pinfall, and the victory. The Usos end up winning the match. They're in different ring gear. They're a lot more aggressive. They're getting into they're playing their heel roles very well, and they're settling into it quite well, even better, which is great. Now, the difference is at Backlash, they had a more long knockdown, drag them out brawl, before the Usos finally won. This was more of a squash match this week. The Hype Bros just got knocked out by the Usos. They pretty much dominated. And then, of course, the Usos, like I said, they're coming into their own as heels. They're doing a hell of a job. And they definitely got what it takes to succeed in WWE. And I feel like this could be something that could really help these guys succeed in the WWE. I feel like the Usos are going to do a lot better this time around as heels. I think fans might start to appreciate them more. And I think when they become tag team champions, again, they're eventually going to win those SmackDown tag belts. They're going to have a whole new personality to go with those belts. It's going to be interesting to see. And, of course, the Hype Bros, they still got a lot to learn, but I see them becoming a future face tag team that's going to get better. At least they have to. Because if the Hype Bros doesn't work out, not only will Mojo Rawley's career get on the toilet, but Zack Ryder will too. Because like they said, this could be the final nail in the coffin to putting Zack Ryder out. Because let's face it, WWE does not treat Zack Ryder well. I don't know why he stays, to be honest with you. He must be getting paid a lot of money. And on that note, we move on to the next segment here where we see a promo from Curt Hawkins, who's supposed to be making a return. They've been doing all this face-to-facts stuff with Curt, but usually they've just been, us reading stuff on the TV. Now this is Curt Hawkins actually speaking, and here's what he has to say.
Stop sign, thank you to Curt Hawkins. As comes, wolves are token tale of the wolf. Don't cry, Curt Hawkins. Curt Hawkins has been known to scare clocks into ticking counterclockwise. I'm Curt Hawkins, and Smackdown Live, it's time to bring it back.
Well, I guess it's safe to say that Curt Hawkins is officially out of his mind. I can't tell if they're trying to copy Chuck Norris with this, or if this is that Mattitude stuff that Matt Hardy did when he was Matt Hardy V1, V1, and doing the whole Mattitude thing while also competing for the Cruiserweight title. Matt Hardy had a whole crazy gimmick in WWE where he was Matt Hardy, Mattitude, and that's pretty much what this kind of reminds me of. So it'll be intriguing to see how Curt Hawkins uses this character. It'll be more intriguing to see if they're going to use him as a mid-card player or a jobber. Because if he's coming back basically to job, then what's the point of even bringing him back and giving him a weird gimmick? Like, it'll be intriguing to see how they utilize Curt Hawkins going forward. And on that note, ladies and gentlemen, we cut back to the ring where we see The Miz and his wife Marie standing in the ring. The Miz, as we all know, was able to defeat Dolph Ziggler with help from Maurice to keep the Intercontinental Championship. And he's talking about, being on this Intercontinental Champion World Tour, never-ending bullshit. Well, anyway, here's what The Miz has to say about beating Dolph Ziggler.
For weeks, Daniel Bryan, Dolph Ziggler, and most of the WWE Universe has been calling me a coward. I'll tell you what, you can call me a coward all you want because I left Backlash with my beautiful wife by my side and the Intercontinental Championship on my shoulder. And now it is day 162 of the Miz's never-ending Intercontinental Championship World Tour. And I have held this prestigious title for more days than 132 other former Intercontinental champions. Former champions like Pat Patterson, like Triple H, and even your beloved Dolph Ziggler. I have made this Intercontinental Championship more prestigious than it ever has in its history. I am a main eventer each and every night I step into this. Well, speaking of those so close, here comes Dolph Ziggler. The funny thing is, you're out here holding the Intercontinental title, yet you're trying to sell yourself as the actual champion. I think you're actually trying to prove it to yourself. You're trying to tell yourself to everyone out here. But you know deep down inside, no matter what you do, any superstar in the back that you've ever walked past and you heard them laugh, you know why. And you know the ones you can't pull the wool over any of their eyes. The WWE Universe, they're never going to see you as a top guy. You're never, ever going to be a true main eventer because the WWE Universe will always see through you, Miz. Let me make this real clear for you. Anytime I'm on this show or any show, I am the main event. And if I lived and died by the respect of the WWE Universe, well then, you might as well bury me 6 feet under, just like your career. Amen. I agree with you. I'm at a crossroads of my career. I'm in a slump, man. But you're crushing it right now. All over the world, you're crushing it. But of course, you'll always have that asterisk next to your name, much like your win at Backlash. So, what do you say, Miz? Do you actually want to earn some respect? You want to prove it? One more time. No gimmick, no valets, no girlfriends, no wives, no Maries, no pneumonia, no stunt doubles, no excuses. Just you and me.
Well, now let me get this right. Because I'm not sure if I'm understanding what you're saying right now. What you're saying? What you're saying, Dolph, is that you want a rematch with my husband for the Intercontinental Championship?
Shut your mouth while the wife is talking. There's the general manager
Raw at the end of the run. Sorry, Smackdown. I'm sorry, but I couldn't shut my mouth while your wife was talking. Because, Maurice, you cheated at Backlash. You are the only reason why Miz is still the Intercontinental Champion, and Dolph Ziggler will get his rematch. No. He didn't earn the right to be number one contender in the first place, and he surely is not getting a rematch. I told you at Backlash that I wanted my contract renegotiated. So you are not going to get what you want until I get what I want. This title, this prestigious Intercontinental Championship, will not be defended on SmackDown Live or any show until I get what I want. I'm calling my own shot, Daniel, and there's nothing you can do about it. He's a good stay on top. I think there's your answer, Daniel Bryan.
If you like Horror Night from 2 years ago on Movie Internet Channel, USA.com and YouTube.com, you type in Horror Night, I'm gonna get her. Oh yeah, me Rottweiler. Oh yeah. That's on Movie Internet Channel, USA.com. Just click Horror Night, and on YouTube.com, just type in Horror Nights. Sarah Killing Sam, oh yeah. Horror Night Part 2 coming out October 1st. At 12 midnight, Movie Internet Show, the others that come from page and YouTube.com to type in How They Punt. Starring Serenity Rose, Commodore Rosati, Daniel and Karen Quick, James Butler, Herring, Jerry Truman, Vinny the Booch, Bucci, and Sonny Bucci. Hey, honey, how was your day?
Yes, how you doing?
Wednesday at work.
I'm fine.
What's up?
We're gonna go out.
Okay. Good job done. What do you think? Good. Very good.
You see her? What is she doing here?
What?
My head.
What are you talking about?
The ghost of Lena.
Hey man, I'm gonna head out tonight. Just take a shower first real quick. Get ready, you want to stop now?
I don't think so.
Wait, what? Why? You're my brother. You're my deceased brother. Why did you do this? No!
Rottweiler will be free by work. And Joe Bag, starring as Mayor Gage. Mayor Robert Gage, here in my office, one of the many fine cities in Massachusetts. I advise all the viewers to go home. Yeah, I got the money. Being a waiter. Got the money being a waiter. Ooh, can't wait to spend it. Don't know what I'm going to be doing with my tips. Here have tips. And starring the late Vincent Mayor Buddy Cianci.
More details on the infamous Killer Rottweiler on the Buddy Cianci Show. Next, so stay tuned.
Horror Night Part 2 coming out October 1st. At 12 midnight, Movie Internet Show, the others that come from page and YouTube.com to type in How They Part 2. Rottweiler is here.
Okay. Now I'm sure some of you right now are probably going, Booch, why the fuck did you just play a trailer for a horror movie after playing The Miz? Well, for two reasons. One, I meant to plug this for the last couple of days, but haven't had a chance to. That's, of course, Horror Night Part 2. The movie coming out with Derek Shapiro on Movie Internet Channel.yolosite.com and the YouTube channel, Movie Internet Channel. It's coming out October the 1st. Will be Horror Night Part 2, the sequel to the first Horror Night as part of the Derek Shapiro films. And also the other reason was because I went downstairs to go take some aspirin because my head was freaking killing me, and I thought I had some time to do that during the Miz promo. But I realized as I got back up here, while I was still handling some business with the aspirin, I had to kind of play another clip to give myself enough time to let the aspirin set in. So hopefully it'll make this freaking headache go away. I took like 4 aspirin, chopped them up, put them in a shot glass, and just chugged it. So we'll see how I feel. But anyway, on that note, we'll get to the segment here with The Miz. Once again, it was everything that I hate about The Miz. Miz is on the 162 of his never-ending tour. He's held the title longer than 132 other former WWE Intercontinental Champions, which already makes me sick to my stomach. It makes me sick to hear The Miz talk about being a prestigious Intercontinental Champion when he is the worst Intercontinental Champion I have ever seen. I have no respect for this man. None. And, of course, Dolph Ziggler comes out wanting another match because he has not earned any respect. All he did was hold on to the championship, but he is still branded as a coward because he's fighting like a coward. He's like, no wives, no stunt doubles, no excuses, just you and me. Maurice interjects, which is annoying because her voice is abysmal. I cannot stand Maurice. And then, of course, The Miz has the asterisk next to his name if he wants to earn respect, but he doesn't. And then, of course, Daniel Bryan comes out and says that Dolph Ziggler will get a rematch. But Miz is saying that he wants his contract negotiated, and until he gets his contract negotiated, he refuses to defend the Intercontinental title till he gets what he wants. So that probably means that next week there's a good chance that The Miz is going to come out with a bunch of lawyers and he's going to make all these Hollywood A-list demands. I want my own dressing room. I want green M&Ms. I want a mini fridge stocked full of Fiji water. And I want my own personal masseuse and driver. And it's just going to be stupid. And then they're just going to probably strip him, either say, like Vince McMahon might even come out to settle this because apparently it'll be – I wouldn't be surprised if Vince came out and said I had enough of this crap, and apparently you're throwing lawyers into everything, and Vince has to step in and pretty much make The Miz defend the title against Dolph Ziggler. They're probably going to make it some type of match, like a steel cage or something, or a cell or something that will prevent The Miz from being able to run away. That's the way I see this. Like if somehow, some way, well, obviously no. If Smackdown had the Hell in a Cell pay-per-view, I wouldn't be surprised if Miz and Ziggler fought inside Hell in a Cell, and they made that the Hell in a Cell match, just to make sure the Miz can't get away. Like it's gonna be weird. Or have like a barbed wire steel cage match, something where there's no doors, barbed wire on the top, and that way nobody can get away. Like something has to happen because it's going to be ridiculous to see this. This Miz Intercontinental title bullshit has to come to an end, because if it doesn't, it's just going to be fucked from that moment on. And then, of course, on that note, we cut to the backstage area where we see AJ Styles looking around because he has to find a tag team partner because he's facing John Cena and Dean Ambrose in a tag match. Well, he approaches Baron Corbin, and here's what happens when Styles reaches out to the Lone Wolf.
Big, bad Lone Wolf Baron Corbin. What do you want, Styles? I know got a rematch with Apollo Crews tonight. I know that, but I got something better. How about you partner up with the face that runs the place, the champ that runs the camp tonight, AJ Styles? What do you say?
Your partner? I'd rather be your opponent. I want that title.
Well, Styles getting shot down. I probably expected Baron Corbin to turn him down. Like they said, Baron Corbin is the lone wolf. He doesn't have any friends. He doesn't want any friends. He stands alone. And obviously, Baron Corbin doesn't want to team with the champ. He wants to beat the champ. So I thought that was kind of cool to hear Corbin just turn him down. So now AJ Styles, with all his bragging and his egotistical nonsense, he now has to try to find a tag team partner, which is going to be damn near impossible. And on that note, we move on to the next match of the evening, which was Baron Corbin versus Apollo Crews. Apparently they had a match in the Smackdown pre-show. Well, Corbin attacks Crews right away, tossing him off the top turnbuckle, tosses him into the ring barricade, hits the end of days on the outside, and the match ends in a no contest because Apollo Crews is pretty much out cold. So Corbin gets back in the ring to celebrate. All of a sudden, Jack Swagger's music hits. He's walking down the ramp. And he said the rumors are true that Swagger's contract with Raw has run up, and he is now on SmackDown. Swagger gets in the ring. Corbin kind of bails out, like, I don't need this. Jack Swagger grabs a microphone, and here's what he has to say about leaving Monday Night Raw and joining SmackDown Live.
Ladies and gentlemen, from Rolling Stone! Call me Jumpin' Jack Flash because of his 12:01 this morning. SmackDown Live is my new home. I'm a Division I All-American, a former heavyweight champion, and I have one stone cold box of a wife. Woo! Now, you may think you know my abilities in this ring, but I promise you, you don't know Jack. From this point on, forget everything that you think you may know. SmackDown Live is a land of opportunity, and I'm going to be a big problem, man. I'm going to be a big problem. You know what? Check that. We're going to be a big problem. This Cortez Country Boy has come over here to raise some hell. I love it. Welcome to SmackDown, Jack Swagger.
Yes. Welcome to SmackDown indeed. I like the fact that Jack Swagger's on SmackDown. I think that Jack Swagger, because like they said, SmackDown is supposed to be the land of opportunity. It's supposed to be a beacon of change. So I feel like a guy like Jack Swagger, who gets mistreated on a regular basis, he can come to SmackDown and get better opportunities. I could see Jack Swagger becoming Intercontinental Champion. I could see him becoming WWE World Champion. He is a former WWE World Champion, so he could definitely win the belt again and actually have a title reign that's more memorable. So I think Jack Swagger is perfect for SmackDown. This is tailor-made for a guy like Jack Swagger, who needs to reinvent himself, repackage his gimmick, and become a bigger force to be reckoned with. So I think this is the perfect setup for Jack Swagger, in my opinion. I see him doing a lot of good on SmackDown. And on that note, we cut to the next segment after commercial break, where Becky Lynch, the new and first ever SmackDown Women's Champion, makes her way to the ring. And just like last night when she got interviewed after her victory, She's now being interviewed 24 hours later. And here's what Becky Lynch has to say about being the new women's champion.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Rolling Stones. For me, jumping jack flash.
Okay, something went wrong there. And I apparently do not have the Becky Lynch promo. Holy shit. Basically, she said that she's now calling herself Becky Balboa again. She's the last one standing. She says, come one, come all. Yells, come at me, bros. Basically saying she'll take on anyone. Which then leads us to a fatal 5-way number 1 contenders match. This is non-elimination, which is kind of disappointing. Naomi versus Nikki Bella, Natalya, Alexa Bliss, and Carmella. So basically, the 5 women who lost in the 6-pack women's challenge are now fighting in a fatal 5-way to crown the next number 1 contender. And this match was insane. It was intense, and it was ridiculous, basically. And how this basically worked was simple. What we saw was these 5 women essentially beating the shit out of each other. That's what we saw. These 2 women, these 5 women, just pretty much doing everything they did yesterday with a couple of added stuff in there, like Carmella and Nikki putting a lot of emphasis on each other in this match, trying to build their rivalry. Natalya pretty much dominating a vast majority of this match with multiple suplexes. You would have thought she was doing her own version of Suplex City. Then, of course, it ends with Alexa Bliss kicking Natalya away. Nikki tripping up Alexa Bliss. Bliss has Bliss up. Carmella with a huge super kick to Nikki. Bliss tosses Carmella out of the ring, hooks the leg. 1, 2, 3. The winner and the new number 1 contender, Alexa Bliss. Now, and then, of course, she stares down Becky Lynch. They have, and now we know that at No Mercy, Becky Lynch will put the women's title on the line against Alexa Bliss. Now, I like Alexa Bliss. I like the new pigtails look she has bringing to the ring. She's doing a Harley Quinn kind of thing, which I thought was a one-night only kind of deal. Apparently, they're making this her new regular look, which I kind of like because Harley Quinn is a hot piece of ass. And, of course, with this, Alexa Bliss has the luxury of, establishing herself as a legit contender. Now, I don't see Alexa Bliss beating Becky Lynch. I think Becky Lynch is going to hold on to this title for a long time. But the fact that Alexa Bliss gets a title shot makes her a legit diva and establishes her as a top contender, especially somebody who recently got called up to the main roster just like Carmella did. Because there's a lot of major call-ups taking place from the women's division. So now they need to build them back up. Even though they were already stars in NXT, they still need to be built as stars on the main roster. Now, Naomi's already a star. Nikki Bella and Natalya, they're all stars. But Bliss and Carmella are still trying to build names for themselves in the main roster. So it's good to see Alexa Bliss get this shot, especially since she's a well-known heel. Carmella's just now coming into her role as a heel. And I think Alexa Bliss will be a perfect opponent for Nikki Bella. For Becky Lynch. Sorry, Becky Lynch. And on that note, we cut to the backstage area where AJ Styles is still looking for a partner. He happens to come across the Demon Kane. And here's how that unfolded.
Just the man, creature I was looking for. Kane. I'm going to get straight to the point, man. The face that runs the place is attacking partner tonight. Check it out. The phenomenal one and the devil favorite demon. Tagging out. Has a nice ring to it, right?
Well, obviously Kane found that to be hilarious, wanting to team up with AJ Styles. I personally would have loved to have seen it, but I guess Kane's on the verge of a face turn, so he's probably thinking the same thing Baron Corbin's thinking. Why would I want to team with you? I'd rather beat you and take that title. So once again, AJ Styles has struck out. Once again, he has struggled to find a tag team partner. And the big question is he going to be able to find somebody, or will Daniel Bryan have to appoint a tag team partner for him, which is what they said. If he can't find one, Daniel Bryan will find one for him. So we'll have to see if Styles can get a partner. And on that note, we move on to the next segment, which is epic. At Backlash, Heath Slater and Rhino became the Smackdown Tag Team Champions when they defeated the Usos in the finals, which also means not only did they win the titles, but Heath Slater finally gets to have a contract. So Shane McMahon is standing in the ring with a contract on a table and the carpet and all the sophistication. And here's what he has to say about Heath Slater finally earning a SmackDown contract.
Obviously, we're out here for a special occasion. And SmackDown Live, as everyone knows, is all about opportunity. When Daniel Bryan joined, it was, again, to make sure that everybody had an opportunity. And I'm going to single out one individual. One individual has seized that opportunity. And last Sunday became the first ever WWE SmackDown Tag Team Champion and earned his rightful place on the SmackDown roster. Ladies and gentlemen, Heath Slater.
WrestleMania experience in the WWE bracket was Heath Slater against the world, John, but against the law. It doesn't matter if he goes a different. It doesn't matter if he goes a free agent. What matters is what happens when you get here. Heath Slater finally got here. He has got gold around his face and a contract waiting on him to sign. I've never cared for fairy tales. I always thought they were moments, but this one has come true. Phenomenal performance in Backlash. Bobby got the proposed tag team champion. Slater has earned this contract.
Well, gentlemen, again, congratulations on becoming the first ever WWE SmackDown Tag Team Champions. And Mr. Slater, I am a man of my word. We have a little official business to do. Sir, if you would please, let's make this official. You just sign that contract. Just reading the back of your shirt. I need this job. Well, sir, you definitely earned it. You sign there and it's official. Congratulations. Attaboy, Heath, congratulations.
Heath Slater, baby!
I need to thank Shane McMahon, Daniel Bryan, wherever he is, for making this happen. I mean, I got to thank my beautiful wife, Beulah, back home, baby. Get that refrigerator box and pack up all our stuff because we're moving into a double wide. I got to thank my man Rhino here.
right? I know there was a lot of talk that he said, right? Yes, right? There was a lot of talk that I could do it on my own, but I didn't think I could. So I found my partner, Rhino. He's a friend. He's my partner, and we are Smackdown Live Tag Team Champions, baby! We will take on anyone, any place, anywhere. Ain't I right, baby? Anyway, finally, I want to thank all my kids. I want to thank Roscoe. Betty Lou, baby, I'm going to get you a tongue. Rosalind Snow, Remedy Monroe, Justin and Josh, Jackie. Winter celebration interrupted by the extension. Any place? Really? How about right here? Anytime? How about right now? And anybody? How about the ascension? Hold on, guys. I mean, come on now. Look at this. I'm signing a contract. There's a table. There's carpet. We don't even have a referee. Am I right, Shane? I mean, tell these guys we can't do it right now. Actually, I couldn't think of a better time to do this. Let's get some guys in here. Let's get rid of this. Get rid of this table. Roll this carpet up. Okay, let's have our first ever WWE Smackdown Tag Team Championship titles on the line right now. So he's Slater Royal defend the titles against the Ascension.
Hell yeah. So Heath Slater officially signs the contract. He is now a member of the SmackDown roster. Him and Rhino are a team. He's moving into the double wide. And he's got his kids and his wife. Or at least his kayfabe wife and kayfabe kids or whatever. But anyway, my point is, it's awesome. This is awesome. We've got a great setup here. And, of course, the Ascension comes out, and they've got a brand new look. They got this new, like face paint on. They're kind of looking like they got like a Demolition kind of look to them. They almost look like Demolition. Like for a while, they were looking like the Road Warriors. Now they're looking like the Demolition a little bit. And they decide to take them up on the offer to have a tag team title match, and that's what we have. Heath Slater and Rhino defend the titles against the Ascension. This match was pretty good. I mean, it didn't last very long, but it was still good nonetheless because both teams got a chance to shine, and it showed that the Ascension is not going to be treated like horrific jobbers anymore. Even though eventually Rhino hit the gore on Victor and hooked the leg and got the pinfall, and Heath Slater and Rhino retained the tag team titles, the Ascension at least put up a fight. We saw a fight between these two teams. And I like the fact that we're going to start seeing more teams come up and fight for the gold. Although there was a part of me that thought the Ascension was going to win right then and there, and that this whole thing was just an elaborate ruse to get Slater a contract and then have him drop the tag belts. But, and give them to a team that's actually a real-life tag team and not just a team thrown together. But obviously they want to do more with Slater and Rhino, especially since the crowd is so behind Heath Slater. Even though it is kind of weird to see him, as a tag team champion again. Hopefully he can get to hopefully he can be a single star after him and Rhino are done as champions. I hope that Slater will eventually go on and do some solo stuff. But it's a good move for Rhino because he doesn't really need any solo championships. He's done it all in the business. To have a tag team title with Heath Slater, I think, is great. I like to see the chemistry develop more between these two. And it'll be intriguing to see how well they interact down the road. This is definitely something that is a big moment for SmackDown. And I think that these guys definitely have what it takes to be a solid foundation for the WWE. Or at least for SmackDown Live. And on that note, we cut to the backstage area where AJ Styles is in the back, and he comes across the general manager, Daniel Bryan, who checks in on the status of AJ Styles and whether or not he's found a tag team partner.
Hey, AJ. Hey, look, finding a partner? You know what? I don't need a partner. I'm sorry to hear that. Luckily, we've appointed a partner for you. James? Meet AJ. God! You're going to do great. You're going to do awesome.
James Ellsworth, the guy who got destroyed by Brock Lesnar back in July, but was making a lot of headwaves all over the internet since then. I think Jordan Garber, who's been a guest on the Boochcast and also has his own show on BOC Nation, he's actually talked to James Ellsworth. This guy's actually gotten a little bit of fame off of this. And they've now brought him back. I wonder if they're going to give him a Performance Center deal after this or something like that. But now they've appointed him to be the tag team partner of AJ Styles. So it looks like in the main event, it'll be AJ Styles and James Ellsworth versus John Cena and Dean Ambrose. Well, James Ellsworth is definitely getting a great opportunity from having to work with Braun Strowman. Now he gets to work with the three top guys on SmackDown and have a hell of a match. That is going to be intriguing. This I got to see. And that's just awesome. I love that. And AJ Styles being disgusted, like, great. I got this jobber for a partner. Because that's how much Styles has burned a bridge with the locker room. At least storyline-wise. And on that note, we cut back to the ring where we have a special incident. Randy Orton makes his way out to the ring. As we all know, Randy Orton got injured storyline-wise at WWE Backlash and was not able to face Bray Wyatt. And it was kind of a last-minute thing because apparently Randy Orton still had a concussion, and apparently he didn't pass all of his concussion tests. He passed some, but not enough to really qualify having a full-blown match because he did suffer concussion during the match with Brock Lesnar. And so they decided to give him a storyline injury and the forfeit thing to write him off TV, to write him out of the pay-per-view. Well, Orton now stands in the ring, and here's what he has to say about Bray Wyatt attacking him and preventing him from having a match at Backlash.
Ray. All you do is talk. You say you're the face of fear, and I finally know what that means. You are the face of fear because you're afraid. You're afraid of me. You were afraid of me Sunday night at Backlash. That's why you attacked me from behind. You tried to maim me. You tried to end my career. But it didn't work. You're not the first to try, and you won't be the last to try. So, Bray, here I am. I'm in this ring all by myself, and I'm ready for a fight. So, Bray Wyatt, if you got the balls, come on down to the ring and face your fear.
Kevin. It's cruel. Unfair. I know it is. I gave you a gift. I gave you a way out. All you had to do was stay down. But you did it. Instead, you chose to embarrass me. I didn't like that. But it's okay, man. Because now I know what I must do. I can't stop now, Randy, no. Your death, it was a part, I promise you. Not fire, not daggers, not bullets can end this now. Don't sleep, Randy. Do not sleep. From behind, ambushing Randy Orton. Bray Wyatt one step ahead of Randy Orton. Mind games continue on the part of Bray Wyatt. These aren't just mind games, small. They are that. They're also physical. What Bray Wyatt did. Oh, my God! We only need one. Touchdown, no winner. Bray equalizer by Randy Orton. Wow. Bray Wyatt continues to be the creepiest of Copperfield. Randy Orton has the sight set on the new face of fear.
Well, it looks like Randy Orton is either about to be medically cleared or already is. Now, the one thing we learned from this is that Bray Wyatt is obviously pissed off at the fact that, that he didn't like the fact that he was embarrassed. And he tells him, do not sleep, Randy. Do not sleep. That was obviously great. And, of course, Bray talks about Randy Orton embarrassing him by dropping him with an RKO, causing him to get chokeslammed by Kane, and Kane to win the match against Bray. So now this rivalry continues. Then, of course, Eric Rowan shows up and starts attacking Randy Orton. So now we know Eric Rowan and Bray Wyatt are once again working together. No shit. Because Eric Rowan sure as hell ain't standing on his own 2 feet because he's incapable of doing that shit. Now, here's another thing that you need to take into account here. Another thing we need to take into account is the fact that Luke Harper is currently in the Performance Center training, getting back in ring shape so he can get back in the ring. No doubt Luke Harper is going to SmackDown and is probably going to join with them. And then Luke Harper and Eric Rowan are going to become a tag team and establish themselves in the tag team roster. Because I swear to God, if they separate Luke Harper from the Wyatts and put him on Raw, then that would just be a waste of time. The Wyatts don't need Braun Strowman. He doesn't need to be there. Braun Strowman can be his own man. But Luke Harper, even though he could be his own man, he works better with the Wyatts. And him and Eric Rowan as a tag team is great because I've said it before and I will continue to say it until I'm blue in the face. We need more tag teams in the WWE. So, great segment. I look forward to seeing Randy Orton and Bray Wyatt continue this rivalry. No doubt they're going to fight. They'll hopefully fight at No Mercy if Randy Orton is medically cleared. And on that note, ladies and gentlemen, we move on to the main event of the evening, John Cena and Dean Ambrose versus AJ Styles and James Ellsworth. However, there's a change. After AJ gets in the ring, James Ellsworth starts walking out for his entrance. All of a sudden, The Miz attacks him from behind, throwing big left hands, and then hits Ellsworth with a skull-crushing finale on the ramp, tosses Ellsworth off the stage and yells, "I'm the main event." Miz then heads to the ring. He's in his wrestling gear. AJ Styles looks pleased. The Miz gets in the ring and shakes hands with AJ Styles as they now decide they're going to be a tag team in the main event. So it's Styles and The Miz versus Cena and Ambrose. This match was amazing. I give credit where credit is due. The Miz did put on a very good showing in this match, working well with Cena, working well with Ambrose somewhat. I noticed the fact that Styles and Miz worked together, had amazing chemistry, but Ambrose and Cena had their egos about them. Ambrose, of course, taking forever to make a tag because he just refused to tag in John Cena until finally Ambrose finally reached the point where after a swinging neck breaker, he realized physically he couldn't go anymore. So he tagged it. He finally swallowed his pride, tagged in John Cena. Cena hits the 5 moves of doom on The Miz. And then, of course, Styles gets in the ring. Ambrose tosses him over the top rope. As Cena tries to lift up Miz for an AA, Styles comes in to try and stop it. Ambrose tosses him over the top rope, takes him down with a suicide dive. Cena then picks Miz up again, hits an AA. 1, 2, 3. The winners of the match, John Cena and Dean Ambrose. And I like the fact that The Miz was involved in this match because, and I'm even happier with the fact that Miz took the pin. I like that. I like the fact that he took the pin for the team. He made the sacrifice so that way Styles wouldn't get buried. It made sense for Cena to take the pin since he just came back. So it allows Cena to establish that I'm back and I'm ready and everything else. And like I said, the match overall was well done. After the match, Cena jumps up in the corner celebrating. He jumps back down, looks at Ambrose. Ambrose kicks him in the gut, drops Cena with dirty deeds. Ambrose yells at Cena that he will see him at No Mercy, never disrespect him again. We see a shot of AJ Styles holding up the title as Ambrose stares him down. So Cena's laying prone in the middle of the ring as Ambrose is standing tall. So the fans, in a way, get what they want because it's a Philadelphia crowd. So they love to see Cena get his ass handed to him. And also, it establishes that Dean Ambrose and Cena, even though they were a team, there's still no joke. There's still, we were partners tonight, but at No Mercy, it's going to be every man for himself, and you have to establish that. So I'm sure Cena is going to try to get retribution on Ambrose. I'm pretty sure next week we'll probably see a match between Cena and Ambrose, one-on-one. No doubt The Miz will be doing some contract negotiating bullshit. And we're definitely going to see Styles establish himself as the face that runs the place and the champ that runs the camp. So there's a lot we can expect on SmackDown, but overall, it was a great SmackDown show. I wasn't disappointed with – there was nothing on this show that disappointed me except for the Miz segment. Like I said, The Miz is pretty much the only thing I hate about SmackDown Live. I love everything else. If The Miz went to Raw, SmackDown would be perfection in my eyes. The Miz is the only thing that I have to hate, really. I like everything else. So SmackDown has definitely proven to be the show for me. Now, of course, I still watch and recap Raw because I have the Boochcast and I have to be informative for everybody. But if you're forcing me to decide which team I'm on, I'm Team Blue all the way. I'm Team SmackDown Live all the way because I've yet to see a show that has epically failed. I really have. I've yet to see a bad SmackDown show since the brand split. I've seen a lot of bad Raws, but not a lot of bad SmackDowns. I haven't seen any bad SmackDowns. Trust me, when I see one, I'll let you guys know. I always do. But overall, the shows have been great. All right, and that will conclude the recap of SmackDown Live, and that will officially wrap up this episode of the Boochcast for today. I want to thank everybody so much for tuning in live. I want to thank everybody listening in the archives. And I will be back tomorrow at 12 p.m. Eastern, 9 a.m. West Coast time with another fun-filled, action-packed episode of the Boochcast. If Desmond is on the show, then we'll be doing a recap of Happy Tree Friends, as well as getting into some wrestling talk. And, of course, I'll be closing out the show with TNA Impact Wrestling, assuming I'm able to see it tonight. If Desmond is not here tomorrow, is not able to call in tomorrow, then tomorrow will be a recap of the Cruiserweight Classic, NXT, and TNA, and Lucha Underground. All that coming up tomorrow on the Boochcast. Now, if Desmond doesn't appear tomorrow, then on Saturday, I'll tape a special show where I'll do the Cruiserweight Classic, NXT, and Lucha Underground. So all that coming up soon here on the Boochcast. So until next time, this is Vinny Bucci, a.k.a. The Booch, saying keep on living life and take care. This has been the Boochcast. I'll chat with you guys tomorrow right here on Blog Talk Radio and on YouTube.
Thank you for using Blog Talk Radio. Goodbye.